Kia ora, zigzaggy, zigzag one, sorry. How you doing? Thank you. Thank you for the rose. I'm a little bit late coming in. I think that's normal for me. Hello. Hello, Anne-Marie. Okay, goodbye. Oh, awesome. That's awesome, guys. Yeah, we're going to change up my structure a little bit today, because usually I read just oracle cards, so I'm going to read tarot today, and if I read cards, so we'll see how we go. Did I bring a pen and paper? Oh, it's over there, one sec. My day was really good. Actually, I had a really good day, thank you for asking. I'll just get my pen and paper, it's literally just there. This allows me to just doodle. When I write people's names down, sometimes I like to write symbols and stuff by them and just doodle. Amanda, will the woman who threatened me do anything bad? Oh, will the woman? Oh, that's pretty heavy. Coming in first person to ask the question is something pretty intense. Hi Jax, how are you? Hi user 0174. Kia ora, kia ora. Oh, choice. I know that you're in. I'm just going to make you a mod, so the lovely tribe leader is going to be supporting me and giving guidance through the chat for now, and see where we're at later on. So please be kind to her. Here we go, my friends. Thank you for following. So I'm just going to go back up to Amanda. If you want protection for yourself, like if you feel like if someone can come in and take stuff from you, I'm going to say this. You need to make sure you have sovereignty of your own life, energy, space, okay? Because if you think that someone can come in and do bad things to you and that they're going to get away with it, or that they just can do this to you, then you're giving your power over to something else, someone else. You have to take sovereignty, my friend. That way your spirit guides, your whoever you believe, supporting you in this life and in the next, or in spirit, I mean, then you would have to make sure that you know that you have sovereignty. And in that aspect of knowing who you are and having sovereignty over your life, your energy, then no one can do harm to you unless it's part of the plan. So I would say, do what you physically got to do to protect yourself. Do what you got to do spiritually to protect yourself, and make sure that you're safe and with people that you can trust if you're feeling like they could just come in and take or attack you in some way, shape or form, okay? Yes, Zigzag, I think I've seen someone else as well. So we're just going to get straight into it today. I'm going to do the meditation, if you can be patient with me, because I need to do that. That's part of my process. instead of tune everybody in. So what we do is we just elevate ourselves. We go heart-centered, and it's easier to get information like for your highest good. So I'm not stealing information from you. I'm not looking at stuff you don't want me to see. I'm seeing what the energy allows me to see. But I got to tune everybody up, okay? Because if I try to get you cold without any tuning up, without tapping into your heart space and allowing that space to open, I've got to conjure a lot of energy, and it can be very draining. So this helps me, help you, help us all. All right. Yes, I've got you, Zigzag, Gabriel. As long as you guys are following me, that's all I ask. If you ask for a reading, then you have to follow me. That's my only thing. These are free readings at this point, and so Christian or something. No, I'm not Christian. Well, I grew up in Christianity. But I'm not laughing at Christianity. I'm just laughing at those have to say it like that. But no, I'm spiritual. Yes, Jackson, there was someone else I missed as well. But I don't ever diminish anyone for their belief systems. I allow them to think and feel the way they think and feel. I just am very set in my own belief systems. And thank you, my friend. You're amazing too. I always appreciate seeing your face and your name come up in your videos. So thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Of course, yeah. Lexi. Alright, Lexi. Was it someone else? Anne Marie. Yeah, there you are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tune in, and we're just going to synchronize our energies. It is just a quick little meditation. This is how we let go of our guard and our defenses, because sometimes people want messages, but they've got all their empathic spaces up, their defenses up, and it's just harder to get in to find the message that you really need for your highest good. You know, like this is for your highest good. So my particular focus is the soul. I'm a soul reader, which means that I focus on your big themes. So if you want the nitty-gritty details, which sometimes I can get if I spend time there, then I'm probably not the reader. But if you want your overall spiritual energy and what you need to know to move into the space that you want to, then I'm your reader. Please drink lots of water. It takes a lot of energy to use energy. Sorry, it takes a lot of energy to create energy. It takes a lot of your human energy to create spiritual energy. And so what is really good is a conduit and is replenishing your body, because when I read or when I channel, I actually get really, really hot and I can get quite dehydrated, which you'll see. So, I'm an ethical reader. I'm not going to spy on anyone, so please don't come in to find out about your ex-boyfriend, whether he loves or thinks about you. Their private thoughts, their private feelings are their private business. And I know that a lot of people do things like that. I have no judgment. They can do whatever they want to do with their skill sets, but that's just how I work. I just allow the energy to come in and bring me what I'm allowed to know. Okay, so it's usually surface in the lives and the personal as you get a little bit deeper to find out the nitty-gritty detail. Though some of yous, I'm going to be honest, some of yous are just like cherries ready to pop. Your information will just flow. It just depends where you're at. Okay, thank you, my friend. Okay, I love how you work. Thank you, I appreciate that. So what we're going to do is just going to take a deep breath, breathing into our heart chakra, and then a deep breath into our crown, and then breathing it all into the root chakra, and that's how we're going to tether in and ground in to the energy. And we're just simply just going to welcome in our spiritual teams, set some gratitude and intentions, and create that circle of light, and allow our bodies to relax. So intuition is far more easier to receive when your body is relaxed. Okay, so if you're someone that wants to tune in a lot more, make sure that before you go to tune in, you take that deep breath and reset your energy, focusing that breath into the heart. For me, the heart is important, essential to process, especially when I get images, like symbols, songs. If I can't process those properly, with using both my brains, you've got three brains: your stomach, your heart, and your actual brain. They are all places where information is processed, so you know you want to access these places. And it allows me to translate your messages at a faster rate. And I read without cards, and then I pull a card at the end. Okay, so just for those that are new, and I keep coming back to watch because you're so good, Sonya. Thank you, Em, I appreciate it. I just realized what you said, and I appreciate that you keep coming back, and thank you for your support. Alright guys, so we're just going to breathe into our heart chakras to get in a comfortable position. I actually had to stretch today because the old body was a bit stiff. So what I do is I prepare my body before I come into the live. I stretch, I do my meditation, and I just get ready, and then I come in. So it's good to do that. Have a routine. Alright, so we're just going to take a deep breath into the heart chakra, and what we're just going to do is we're just going to visualize the energy just coming in, and it's just turning clockwise. It's almost like we're turning it on slowly. We're not going to go yank it on. We're just going to allow that energy to unfold and turn the way that it needs to. When our hearts are open, we're more open to receive the things that we actually truly want in our lives. So many of us, our hearts are closed because we're afraid, we're scared. So this is an essential part to really open up. Well, I say afraid and scared, I mean of being hurt or of the feelings that you already have inside of you, okay? And you have valid reasons why the heart is like that. But learn to open it up for your own good. So here we go. So you can feel, my third eye just went boom, I feel it. Okay. Breathing into the heart chakra nice and slow. Here we go. And just hold that energy right there. And just feel your body pour a bit of pressure into the heart chakra, and just visualize the energy turning around clockwise. Beautiful white light happening as you open this space up. And in this space we just remember that we're okay, we're safe. And we can rely on our spiritual teams and ourself, our higher self, to look after us while we're here. And then we're going to breathe into our crown chakra, and we're just going to allow the energy to come in, and we just breathe it up. If we can just imagine our breath going up into our mind and just around the brain, and you just feel it circulating and clearing out anything that no longer serves you, thoughts, feelings, memories, songs, you know, residual energies, and just fully release them. Okay, so here we go, breathing into the crown chakra. Turning that energy on and allowing that flow to happen. Alright, now breathe all the way out. And in this space we can let down our guard. We can release our vigilance. We can open ourselves up to the knowing for our highest good and highest intentions. Okay, now we're going to breathe into the root chakra slowly and deeply. We go. Putting a bit of pressure there. Just imagine your root chakra opening up. Just the energy of turning that energy clockwise. You may even see red colors in front of you, or anything that you may feel. It's okay. And what we're doing is that we are opening up the root chakra so that we can ground into the energy of the earth, and also tether us to what is physically real. Okay, so the deeper those roots go, and I'm so sorry about the noise, it's my family, the deeper the roots go, the higher the knowledge that we can attain. Okay, and that takes practice, and it's visualization. So if you can just imagine as you're breathing into your root chakra, we're just going to take our time with this part, because some of you really need to learn how to feel safe in your own energy. And you just visualize the root chakra and roots coming down into the earth, and you just allow those roots to grow deeper and deeper into the earth until they actually reach the crystalline grid. So what they call the crystalline grid is this beautiful space where energy flows, right? And you just attaching yourself to that grid, and you just allow that beautiful light to fill your body. And if you scan over your body as this light fills you up slowly, and you see any kind of shadowing, any heaviness in your body, just visualize sending some love there, some loving light. You can imagine the golden light, like many people use the golden light. I use beautiful pure white light, and I'm literally just sending it to the places that need it within my body. One thing we must learn to do is tune into our body and know what it is that our body requires. Not just physically, but energetically, because we are more than just this body. We are so much more than that. And we have to learn to feel safe with tuning in and seeing ourselves from the inside out, seeing how our energy looks and feels, okay? So what we do is we tether to what is real. We know we're grounded here and we're safe here. So the root chakra is about allowing yourself to feel safe. I am safe, okay? And many of us, especially if we resonate as being an empath, this is one of the root chakra is one of the most important chakras to really connect with for you at the beginning. And that just allows you to align everything else up so that you feel connected, you know, here in the spiritual chakras. Okay, and in this space we're going to welcome in our spiritual teams, our spirit guides, our loved ones, our ancestors, our guardian angels, our high dimensional energies and beings that wish to support us in this life. We ask them for messages of love, of truth, of honesty and compassion. And we hold gratitude in our hearts for them each and every day, for the things that they do for us, whether we know that consciously or unconsciously. We thank them. We thank ourselves for showing up. It's not easy showing up. It's not easy waking up, getting up and doing what we got to do. So we got to be grateful for what we do for ourselves as well, and celebrate our wins, acknowledge our losses, and learn and live and grow. In this space we know we are safe, we are loved, we are blessed, we are connected to all that is good and right for our souls, our life's purpose, and our pathway forward. Thank the universe for showing up for us. Thank the universe for all the blessings that the universe provides us. There's love there, everywhere and anywhere, whenever you need it. It's simply right there in front of you. You are love, and love is you. And so it is, and so it shall be. And when you're ready, feel free to come back. Open your eyes, return, or just simply enjoy the moment if you're feeling that within you. Learn to tune into your body, and tuning your body in to the energies makes you stronger, mentally, emotionally, and physically, as well as spiritually. Don't forget the spiritual. Alright. Sorry, I needed to decompress. I think I needed that. It's beautiful. Hopefully that helps you guys out there. This is something that we need to learn to do. You know, you don't need classes to learn how to do that. You just need time and dedication and commitment to loving yourself. Because I know that we all get shown images of how we should be looking and caring and feeling and flowing and creating. But in the end, you need to know what you need to know for you. And that only way you're going to find that is to actually learn who you are and what you feel like inside. Okay? So we're very external. Our focus is always external. And so sometimes we have to learn to tune inwards. Because that's who we really are. And what you see here, it's just the body, but there's so much more behind the eyes. You know what I mean by that? The soul exists all around us. You know? Have you ever heard of the aura? That's where your soul is in there too. It's the energy of your body. And so it's like, you know, when you start learning to tune in, you can start seeing the colors that you are, which should be all colors in the end. Eventually, all the colors create the light. And you need all those frequencies of light to create light, the white light. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And it's just learning to tune into you, your heart, your breath, and giving your mind and your nervous system a bit of a break. That's really important. Give yourself a break, like a real break, and just for a moment stop relying upon the spaces that you've been using too much. You know, like many of us are hyperactive overthinkers, or what do you call it, high functioning overthinkers. Many of us, we may often try to avoid how we feel. We might be what I call numbers. We find things, people and things, other things that stop us from feeling because it's so much easier. But in the end, all you're doing is suppressing more and more emotion so that eventually you will have to pop. You might as well take control and be in a space where you can allow parts of you to feel one layer at a time. It doesn't have to be all in. It doesn't always have to be just everything. You just release what's there for your highest good. Okay? Your body knows. Your body knows you anyway. Alright guys, so that's just a quick round. I always do the quick rounds. It's not really, sometimes I elaborate a little bit, but tonight's just like let's get it on. Okay, that's because you've gotten used to being in this space, and it's really easy to drop down into your heart. It's simply by choosing to breathe there. So as you focus on your breath and you slow down the process of your body, your mind will literally just shut off because it can't think while you breathe. When you focus and breathe, you just let your body or your feeling just fall into the heart space. It does take dedication. It's a practice. So it's just like a sport. You don't just go out playing rugby knowing that you're going to be amazing and know the rules. You know, you need the skill sets. You build those skill sets through practice and dedication. And through that dedication, you learn to master your spaces. And so learning to tap into the heart is a practice. And then when you do it, it becomes subconscious. Just like when you drive a car, you know how to drive a car, you don't even have to think about it. It's subconscious, and you just will, when you set that intention of dropping into your heart, you just will drop straight in. Okay? So anytime you feel like head dominant, it's like, oh, my thoughts aren't telling me nice things, or the inner voice is saying some really negative things, take that pause, take that moment, not just for anger, but also just for you. Like, oh, I need to take a moment. And then just allow your body to relax. So as soon as you relax, your mind relaxes and you drop into your heart. And once you get this ready and you've got this working, then try and use your head and you'll find how it works is so much more better. You know, it's less strain, less stress, less anxiety. And that's how it works. So I'm someone that used to suffer with really bad stress. Yeah, you see me cry about it a million times on here. I'm not going to cry tonight. Okay, that's my goal. Sonya's not going to cry. And so I'm laughing at that because I always do. I'm lying right now. I'm going to cry. Somebody's going to make me cry. But it's kind of like, you know, once you learn how to drop into your heart and use your brain, you get that cognizance, right? So you become more tuned in, not just to your own body, but the energies. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, sorry. Appreciate that. Hey Tara, wholeness to you as well. I think I'm another overthinker. We all are, my friend. You wouldn't be. Oh, hi Lorraine. You want a reading? Okay. So that'll be. I'll be asking for names after I do this lot. I've got a bit already. Hi Zena, will you be able to wait for the next round, if that's okay? Okay guys, alright. Yes, so if you just give me a bit of I just have to separate them into groups. And you just have to be a little bit patient with me, because I'm an in-depth reader. Even though they're, you know, these are the free readings, it's still going to be as deep as I can go. Well, as much as the information gives me. So I read till the information leaves me. Like, it's like a release. So it'll sit with me until it's sort of just like, okay, that's it. And then it'll just be like, my body will relax. It's kind of like I start tuning over inside, and I can feel that message, and then I have to, it just goes like that until it's like, okay, and then I feel the thing. But you'll know, because I'll do that. I'll start setting good intentions towards you, and that's when you know. And then I'm shutting it off. All right, so we've got Zigzag 1 first. Thank you very much for coming in. Okay, if you'd like to book a reading, I do have on my profile page, there's a link tree. You can go to my Facebook to book a reading, or you can message me, send a message request, and I will try and get to it as soon as possible. And if you want to get on the list and you're not getting picked, then that will just donate to my PayPal. That's also in my profile. And I don't ever set an amount, but if you want to get a reading and be picked, because sometimes it's, you know, it's pretty busy, then that's the only way to really get in. Other than that, it's the private readings. And I've got different services there. Okay, and at the end of the night, if you're still in here, one of the main gifters gets to get a free half-an-hour reading with me. I usually pick one person, and that's pre-recorded, and I send that to you via private link on YouTube. Okay, so that's there forever. as a thank you and give back. So all right guys, let's get into it. We've got Zigzag. If he just can give me a thumbs up. Oh, that's good. Do I just start? Are you there, Zigzag? Kia ora. Thank you so much, Trisha. Kia ora, Miri. Is Zigzag there? He probably thumbs up already, but I didn't see. Hi, Pip. Hi guys, this is my lovely friend Pip, the Guided Intuitive Reader. If you'd like to give her a follow, she does readings as well. She goes live quite often. Don't see. Oh, they're there. They're there. Cool. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Zigzag. If you'd like to take a deep breath, breathing in slowly and deeply, I'll do the same. Yeah, no, yeah. So, bro, I think I've already, I don't know, sorry if you're a girl or boy, I'm just assuming. I think you were supposed to always get a reading from me, because they just said it to me as I'm tapping in, because I'm like, I can hear songs. I'm feeling this weird feeling in my belly, but I'm seeing water. And the thing is, I usually meet people on the beach, but you're showing me a different way of understanding the water. And they flashed me the whale's eyes. So, you know, for me, I'm a Māori. Māoris usually symbolize the whale as being sacred, and you know, that's about the ancient knowledge and also ancestors. So yeah, you're getting a bit of a calling. And see, when they show me the whale's eye, it's really important for you to know that you're probably feeling like you're getting out of your depths. So that's a spiritual awakening. That's a calling. That may be ancestral healing for you, but I don't necessarily feel like it's ancestral healing, though we all need to do that. It's more like ancestral knowledge, and that might be showing up differently. So I'm going to assume that it's for this life, but something about you feels like you might have been quite a spiritual person in another life. I don't know why I want to say that, but they just said, you know, that energy's older than this, you know, than this life. And so it feels like you kind of reach back further, and that's going to be really tough. Thank you so much. that's going to be really tough, because there's parts of you you're going to have to accept. It's like, how did I always know that was going to happen? Like, it's like, you know, it's like being intuitive without ever training to be intuitive. It's just like, how did I know that was going to happen? And how did I know that it was going to be me? Or how did I know that person was going to be there? Or how did I know that person was going to call? So they're saying, you know, you're getting stuff like that. And it's just like, oh, I think I already seen this. And that's something that I say a lot. Thank you so much. That's something that I say a lot to myself. It's like, I knew that was going to be like that. You know, it's like kind of this weird awareness that you might just be a little bit more than your average, you know, Joe Blogs that just says they're spiritual or has spiritual belief system. So they're just flicking heaps of like synchronicities at me. And that's because you're getting the call. It's deep. It's kind of like Moana. I know, just as an energy, and I've been covering Moana, and you know, it was weird one day, and I've watched Moana a million times. One day I'm sitting there and I'm watching a clip of Moana, and she's walking to Te Whiti, and she's giving Te Whiti the heart back, right? And you know, and there's a point in that space which is kind of like shadow work, where she sees the scary, powerful image right in front of her, this god, and she knows who that God. Oh no, see, here we go, we're getting the tears. She knows who the God is. Like, she can see the God, you know, her actual true essence. And it's kind of like there's a part of you that needs to see your God, you. I'm not saying your God, but you know, like that you are the God, but the powerful being that you could be if you allowed yourself to confront the thing that stops you, which is the fear of either looking silly, fear of rejection. Looking silly is rejection, I guess, it's the same one. The fear of rejection, because no one ever told you were special. I mean, you know what I mean? The people that may have been in your life, no one ever told you were gifted, but you always knew it was there. You've always known it was there. And it's kind of time to recognize, and the thing about that particular scene, why that scene was so powerful for me, and that went kind of semi-viral, so it just went wild, and I was like, what the freak is going on? But that why it touched so many people is because when you recognize that when she sees Te Whiti, she's not afraid. She's not afraid of her because she knows her. She knows that she's this beautiful, loving deity, beautiful energy that creates life, okay? And so she walks to her, and instead of being afraid and putting up her defenses, she puts up love and acceptance. And maybe there's a point where you need to love and accept yourself as well, and embrace your shadow aspects, because you know, when you embrace your shadow aspects, you're aligning, and this is something I actually literally said today, your subconscious mind, when used correctly, is a powerful ally, because there's so much potential back there. But if it's clogged up with negative thinking, and what I mean by negative thinking is thoughts that do not help you grow, okay? Because you are a being that's supposed to grow and expand. We're in an expanding electric magnetic universe, well, energy universe, and energy is meant to flow and glide and move. It's not meant to just stay still and quiet. That's not an easy space. Yep, I would say you got the whale's eye. That is usually a sign that you probably have some very high level skills, and you would have to learn to open those up. But that means you have to remove the fear of using them. And I went through that stage too. And that was, I would say, I had to do my ancestral healing in 2020. You know, just before the pandemic hit, I was able to go travel back and do that. And it was powerful for me. It opened me up. It was like my ancestors accepted me, and I didn't know who they were. Like, I knew them, but I didn't know their names until I walked through that urupa, and I felt like I needed to be here. You know, it was like this weird, that, you know, feeling like I was being welcomed. And I think there's a part of us that, you know, we just kind of feel like we're not good enough. And that's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie that we either tell ourselves or someone said that we've taken on as if it's a belief system. Because some of us, I'm going to be honest, some of us just can't conform to the status quo because we're not supposed to. And I'll tell you what, every time I've tried to conform to the status quo, it felt like the most miserable and saddest times of my life when I tried to pretend that I was something that I was not. And I didn't feel alive. You know, it was just like a feeling of emptiness. But not the emptiness that you think you feel when you know, you're just like a gas tank empty, like, damn, you know, and you can't go any further because you're out of gas. It was like deeper, like a soul space. So it's kind of recognizing that at some point, you know, you have to accept that you have unlimited possibilities for your life. And that you have what it takes. And that's something that we have to recognize. There's a point where you recognize that you have what it takes. You simply do. And to not fight that, because most people, most people fight their actual truth and the polarity in which their heart pulls them, because they feel that's too much for me, that's too big for me, I'm never going to be able to attain that. Already defeated, you know. So embracing positive thought forms and positive solutions require a lot of trust in who you are as a person, in your connection with the universe. You know, and I give that as fundamental advice, you know, to people out there. It's like you need to trust yourself and trust that the universe has your back. You know, that's paranoia, right? The belief system, or the belief that the universe is conspiring in your favor. And the thing is, I repeat these things a lot because sometimes it takes a while before somebody really, you know, oh, Sonya, she's always saying, oh, you know, paranoia, the belief that the universe is conspiring. And then that one day you'll go, oh yeah, remember that time that lady years ago said paranoia and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, you know, and you can recall it because that's it. That's that seed of light. That's a part of you that brings you back to the place you're supposed to start growing now. So you got to put those things, you know, you put them into the subconscious. Your subconscious mind, when you tune it up properly, starts bringing those little seeds of light. So that's helping you through like depression. And it's just this overwhelming fear sometimes that you get. It's like a wave. That's what I felt in your belly. It's like a wave of water. It's like you know, like when the water's just rising, it's like high tide, but it's rising really fast. Like there's this thing here, and yeah, my mum's vacuuming. I'm so sorry if you can hear that. And that's kind of just like, you know, like a fear of feeling things, like real things, like all the things you might not have wanted to. But the thing is, if you got the whale's eye, you're made for the water. That's why I say to a lot of people, you're made for it. You know, why do you think you feel so much? Why do you think it's so much for you? You know, and your first instinct is to shut that down, because part of you has to allow that process to happen. Part of you has to learn that my feelings are not negative for me, and that sometimes I'll process things to heal things in an emotional way. That's why I shared what I shared last time, where I bawled my eyeballs out, and that was hard, because I tell you what, when I got off that live, I had to lie there. I didn't go to sleep till 4 a.m. that morning, and I had to process that. I had to process that, because it's not always easy to go back to those times and remember. And so I had to learn slowly to let that go, you know, and it took me a wee while. And because that's not a wound, but a scar, you know, to remind you of, oh, thank you, my friend, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You know, to remind you, but, you know, learning to slowly detach from that overwhelming sensation. And so I, you know, allowed myself to open up and reveal that, because it's what's needed. You know, medicine comes in different forms, all right? yeah, a bit of a journey. They said a long road ahead, but you know, I mean, most of us, if we really are looking and searching for our true selves and what our purpose is and our skill sets and abilities, it doesn't happen overnight. Well, it can for some people, like, oh, you know, like, wow, I got all this. But really for me, it's like, you can open things, but then you've got to learn how to work with them. Otherwise, if you don't learn how to enhance your skill sets, and they're just dormant things that you can do sometimes, you know, it's a waste. That's what I say, it's a waste. So let's pull some cards and see what's going on. So I've got the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle, so I've been favouring these lately, and my tarot cards. So let's go, let's see what's going on. I'll pull one to see who you are, where you're at. Maybe it'll show me skill sets, abilities, we'll see. Oh yeah, okay, that'll work. Oh, you got some powerful cards. I love that. I love the way the cards work, so that you can. Oh yeah, so yeah, nah. Okay. So then they come to me. All right. So I pulled this card for you, but it's interesting what came forward. So it wasn't a whale. I thought it would have been a whale, but it's interesting because it's a unicorn. Clairvoyant, claircognizance, which one is it? Maybe psychic. Can you speak to energies? Probably can, but just doesn't, you don't quite know how to translate it. But I think you're quite sensitive to the moon, so be mindful of the moon phases, which ones are good for you, which ones aren't good for you. That's because you're lots of water, my friend, whether you're a water sign or not. And it's interesting because, you know, you got this card, but underneath the card, it came out in two, like this. There's actually two cards, and underneath is a horse in reverse. But this literally is a physical representation of this. But see, it's light and dark. So there's parts of you you're going to have to integrate. But of course, the horse is a powerhouse. It's about momentum. Okay. So it's sort of just like, okay, I'm not really moving forward I'm not really investing in my skill sets right now because maybe there was a belief that you weren't made for this, or you didn't have this, you're just imagining it. Now, that's society. That's what society will tell you. You're just making it up. And because you're a rebel at heart, I believe, you're someone that likes to kind of, like I said, move out of the status quo, not quite move into alignment with everything else, because there's just something a little bit different about you. And the truth is, you know that. You've always known that. It's always been there in your energy. And your tarot card. So this is, I love this because they're both, you know, horse energy, which I love horses. Well, energetically, the horses don't really like me physical. But anyway, you've got the Ace of Swords. So this is a new truthful beginning, my friend. This is when you're going to see, oh no, okay. Well, I was going to say see a vision, but it's like they just said epiphany. It's a light bulb moment. Something just turns on. And I just believe it's the truth. It's sort of like something, and you probably resonated with little bits of that message in a way that touched you, like your soul. I'm going to say it's not going to be easy. So the Ace of Swords is communication and epiphany. It's actually got a lot of really good things, but maybe you want to search that up on YouTube as well, what the Ace of Swords may mean, or Google it just to get something different from me. But it just feels like, yeah, no, it's this. I don't think you can block it off. I mean, the horse is in reverse, but that's an imbalancement, which means, so when the horse shows up in reverse, because that's about momentum moving forward, there's some type of resistance, or what they call an imbalancement in the card set. And it's kind of resisting the urge to move forward, even though that calling is so loud. Fast communication with the universe, it's loud. A new beginning, you just have to trust, right, that you're the unicorn. And you know what? I used to say I was a motherfucking unicorn, and I'm just saying it that way because that's what I used to say. Because there had to be, like, I used to literally have unicorn here. I was talking about that today too. Used to have, because I used to almost embody that energy because I wanted to express that thing inside of me that was just wanting to jump out. Yeah. That's how it felt. It's like I was a unicorn. And so I used to say that, and I used to always post unicorn things. And that's because probably when I started, my horse was upright because I was ready. So that does take a surrendered heart. You know, that does take a surrendered mind. And what I mean by that is your ability to allow the things that need to go, heal. And that might take a bit of work. I'm not going to say that's going to be easy, but then it also allows the things to come in. So you've spent your life saying no, even though these weird things have been happening, spiritual experiences, dreams, you know, feelings from people, probably even seeing people's shadow come across their face, you know, a distorted image of their face. You're seeing things like that. So, you know, you need to really nurture yourself and not be afraid. Fear, as soon as we take our skill sets to fear, they're being used against us, okay? So if we take things like this to fear, we're going to see negative things, we're going to feel negative things, and we will embrace negative things. And what I mean by that is skill sets like these have to be brought forward for service, for love, for light, the love and light principles, right? So that it helps others. You know, and the thing is, as soon as you tune into fear, you're wiping all the good intentions out. It has to be of love. And I would say with that, it can, like the Ace of Swords is about thoughts, so that can be really, really sharp. You know what I mean? It can be really sharp when it comes in, so it might hurt a little, it might feel a little weird, it might feel a little crazy. But if you're not crazy these days, then you're not living, okay? So don't be afraid to be a little bit different, show up a little bit differently for people, and really start trusting your gut instinct, you know, because you've got it, my friend. And if any of the things I'm saying are actually truthful for you, then you know you've got it. Because we don't know each other. And yet I feel that in your energy. Yeah, but you're a unicorn. Oh, okay, yeah, well, let's just read what the unicorn says, because it's a chakra, right? It's the third eye chakra. In the spiritual element, or the ether. And so they're like, oh, can you just read the unicorn? Okay. So the unicorn is about reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity, right? It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it is real. That's like straight away. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago. The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity and encapsulates our wavering belief in the unicorn. We wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from and if we can really trust it. We think about a higher power and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name? Is it just a feeling? The unicorn appears and wakes us up. Keywords. Wakes us up to curiosity about the higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. The mind's eye knows where there is something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn, and you have begun your quest for the answers. Good luck, because it's really hard, but I have trust and faith that when you decide to take that leap forward, or that step forward, every step counts, then I feel like Spirit's just going to come right behind you and really push you forward. And I'm going to say, just take a step forward and see the universe support you, okay? Just one step. I said to the universe, I want to take this one step forward towards you, and I want a sign that I know is exactly for me in the way that I'm going to interpret it as a connection to the universe, and allow the universe to bring that to you. You can ask them to do things for you. You can ask them questions. Don't just take it as face value. Discern, determine pros and cons. But when it feels right here, that's your truth, okay? So I send that message to you with lots of love and good intentions. I hope it helps you now and in the future. Thank you and take care of yourself. Zigzag. Oof. That was full on, first one up, eh? But you didn't expect that, or did you? Did you expect that? Nearly got me there. I was going to cry a little bit. Alright, so we've got Jacks and then Lex after that. Oh, did I write that right? Okay, awesome. You're very welcome, my friend. And you know what? Sometimes we don't think we're special because we just maybe most of the time we're just normal people having a human experience, a very human experience. And that may humble us a lot, but it doesn't mean that we're not special in the way that we are in our lives. Thank you so much. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Okay, awesome, Jacks. Just give these a shuffle. Because when I finish all my spiritual stuff, I gotta, go and have a feed, have a drink, get in my PJs and go to bed. I'm just a normal person. Okay, yes, Aisha. So on the second list, I've got Zena, Trisha, and Aisha. Sorry, Aisha. So we've just done, so we've got Jax, Lex, Anne-Marie, and Lorraine. And the person at the end gets a free half an hour read with me. That'll be the highest gifter. Okay, so please be here at the end. Okay, Jax, if you'd like to take a deep breath, breathing in slowly and deeply, I'll do the same. Yeah, interesting. Okay, I'm just going to say this because I don't know if, well, I'm just going to assume I don't know. I don't know if this makes sense, but you've been having a little bit of trouble, really tapping in and tuning into your heart space. I don't know what's going on with your heart right now, but it showed me, I know that you've probably been spending some time thinking about what it is that you want in your life, but it kind of showed me, okay, it's hard to describe. But it was kind of like what I would call a wounding. So it just showed me like this, you can see that little gap there in the heart space. Yeah. And Jax, I'm going to be honest. You really, really have so much love there. It's like it just wants to pour out of you. It just wants to come out of you. I don't know if it's life that's kept you away from not opening it up. Well, it's not that you're not opening it up. It's just that you're not activating it enough. It's like you're not activating it enough, and that can really affect relationships. That's all. And I'm just saying, if you're single, or whether you're single or not, it just feels like there's tension with somebody there, and so the heart is really shut off. But don't let anyone take your shine. Don't let anyone make you stop glowing from the inside out. That kind of energy needs to be shared, my friend. That kind of energy needs to be seen by the world, felt, held, embraced. And, I'm going to say straight, you do a disservice to yourself by not choosing to love the way that you need to love. Yeah, because the right person, I've got this video up and it says the right person will, not make you feel like you're hard to love. They'll know how to hold your love. They'll know how to be with you. You have to learn to trust your heart too. I mean, that is a practice. I talk about it a lot. It is a practice. It takes time, you know, to get there. You probably have to do the exercise of tuning in a lot more to have some strength in that space. Yeah, because it just feels like, you know, I'm going to be honest, it just feels like people keep taking your light. And so it's like, to protect yourself, it's like, no. But the thing is, I think no matter how much you try not to feel or love or share that, it just keeps, like, every now and then it'll just go, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's just pouring out. Like if you tip a little bit over, it's just going to, you know, fall out. And it's kind of like, you know, you're denying yourself who you really are, and that makes me quite a lot sad about that. Yeah, hurt, yeah, protection thing. You know, and you know, I'll say this about the heart space. We often protect ourselves because in that moment it needs to be protected, but we get in the practice of shutting things down. We get in the practice of suppressing. We get in the practice of not feeling and just sort of numbing it back and stepping back because it becomes uncomfortable. But if you really want to grow, you have to learn to be uncomfortable. If you really want to grow, you have to learn that sometimes it takes a little bit of pain for a little bit of gain. And that could be emotional pain, not physical. And like you had every right to shut down your heart when you did, or not shut it down, but just sort of close it up when you did. But you don't have to do that all the time. You know, you don't have to tune out all the time. And a lot of us get stuck, you know, like there's a part of us that wants to just accelerate to a different level, but we don't know how to do that. We get confused with where we need to go, and that's because we're thinking with the place that's overworked and exhausted. You know, the mind space, it's exhausted. You know, how many of our brains are just ticking all night long, all the time, all day, all night. Not just about the things that we're doing automatically in our lives, but in the back, in the subconscious. You know, that's working all the time. And what's connected to the back of the mind, if you can just imagine that, it would be not biologically, but energetically, your nervous system, which will be on high alert. So if you're always in vigilance, you actually block a lot of your own truth and your blessings. What I mean by your blessings is your ability to connect with things and everything around you that is good and positive for you, not just the bad. And that's the thing. That's the thing about blocking the heart off, is that not only do you block out the negativity that wants to come in, but also the positivity. And then you really get bad at receiving, you know, energy. So yeah, it's so nice. Love a little bit harder and a little bit deeper next time you feel safe with someone, okay? Because the next time you'll recognize that you're a lot stronger too. So you will be able to love the way that you like to, the way that you naturally would. You know, you're not as cold and as heartless as people may feel about you. You actually, it's because you feel so much, you know, and it's just, you know, it kind of reminds me of my mum, because literally they flash my mum in my mind, and it's like, my mum's like that. My mum denies herself her spiritual gifts because she feels too much, and it frightens her. But she is Sagittarius, so you know, they love hard, but they also don't really like it at the same time. Thank you so much, appreciate that. So let's pull some cards. Let's see what's going on. Jack, please. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. See, okay. So you actually what I saw flip. Okay, so everyone's we're getting it. And I'll pull the tarot card as well, so we can get it all out. So you had two cards that flipped as well. So you got the Magician there. Alright. So, the first card that flipped was actually the rabbit. Now, the rabbit is a good card. It's a card of earth. But the downside to the rabbit, because it is good luck, you know, that kind of, it does have that symbol of luck. But in this particular meaning for this card, it's a little bit vigilant. Okay, it's a little bit afraid that, you know, there's always danger around. So this is a sign for me that your nervous system is like heightened. You know, your vigilance, and your defenses, so your energetic defenses and your energetic vigilance is heightened. See, the ears are up and it's searching. So I always describe the vigilance or defense system as like this alarm system that rises up from behind, that kind of just, and you could be just doing whatever, you could be sleeping, and it's just searching and looking all the time. And I get that, because, you know, you have really valid reasons why you do what you do. I'm not going to judge you on that. And the thing is, you could have so much better luck if you learnt that this really isn't your true vibration. You know, this isn't really your true energy. Your real energy is the golden egg, which is the heart chakra in this particular card, in this particular deck. The golden egg, unlimited possibilities. Look at that. That card is really glowing in this light. But it's like the golden egg is the heart chakra, the anahata. And so when you learn to really allow that vigilance to come down and allow the heart to feel safe enough to come out. So the golden egg is golden opportunities as well. So it does feel like with your tarot card, you've got the magician. You know, you might have dealt with dominant energies, but the emperor, you know, they worked hard for what they've got. The emperor. You may have dealt with an emperor, because I felt a dominant energy there. But this particular type of energy is that, you know, there's alchemy afoot, there's a change afoot with the magician, the ability to, you know, manifest and create what you need to. This is a manifestation type of energy. It's like the wizard, the sorcerer, you know, it's sort of like recognizing that you can create something from nothing, you know, or you can turn lead into gold. It just depends. And you've got the golden egg here. So it does feel like there are opportunities opening and blessings opening to you. You just have to be in the ability or in the space and vibration to receive it. And a lot of it with the magician is like through your own hard work and dedication. You have what it takes to move through whatever difficulties you have right now. Okay? So it is what I would call a divine masculine energy. And what I kind of mean by that is that could be the divine masculine in you stepping up and protecting you so that your feminine energy can be creative and create. Okay? So it's kind of like you need to recognize something in you that's important. You know, you need to recognize that and let down your guard. Really tune in to who you are. But let's read the golden egg. Why not? But the magician card, this is a good sign that something's changing. So when alchemy comes into play, when you see this amongst these types of cards, that means that, you know, you're working hard to change your situation and bettering yourself in some way, shape or form. This is a master card as well. This is kind of like someone who spent time practicing, you know, the things and working on an art form, you know. Alchemy is about, you know, really knowing your science and stuff, elements, you know, things like that. So you could be working, you know, creating something that you want to create in your life, maybe a business. Magician would say that, you know, you've been called to create a business because you've got all the tools there available. So maybe you're coming to a round where you are, or around in your life, a chapter in your life where you are starting to recognize, actually, I have a lot to bring to the table. Actually, I have a lot of skill sets that I can rely upon and be of use with. So it's interesting that came up for you right at the end there. And then we're going to go and read the golden egg. So here we go. Message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. Okay. So within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within the sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the... Sorry. They literally said, yeah, you know why it's sound? Because it's sound alchemy. Sound alchemy. So we've got the alchemist there. Sound alchemy. So, okay, it's a story. So this is the only way I can reveal this to you is through my own experiences. So back in the day, I used to go to a lovely lady. She was awesome too. And she helped me heal my my inner child space and open up my throat chakra. And the thing is, that's got to go through the heart. So you have to recognize that our chakras kind of have mirrors. So our root chakra connects with our crown chakra, sacral chakra, the throat chakra, or the third eye, solar plexus, the throat, and the heart is the bridge. And so to get to here, you've got to clear here, the solar plexus, and that gets really hard. But then when you do, you shift up into the heart chakra, which then creates the bridge to your spiritual spaces. So anyway, I went to sound alchemy and I was activated. Okay, so it just feels like the universe wants to activate your heart, because like I said, you have love to give. You have so much love. You're a very deep and loving person, and yet you resist your natural polarity to share your heart. And that makes sense because, you know, this is a card of vigilance. You know, I have to defend myself, but not all the time. Like I said in one of my messages, fear is appropriate in times when you need to be fearful or cautious, but that's not happening all the time and all day and all night, you know. So there's a part of you that you need to change and create something from that. Let it motivate you in some way, shape or form. Let it say, I don't want to experience this again, so I'm going to go about making my life better so that I don't have to go through this hardship. Or maybe getting counseling, you know, I'm just pulling it out and dealing with an issue that you know is reoccurring, because really it just feels like that you could do whatever you wanted to do, because you could create it really fast if you were open to receive. You know, that could be information through feeling, sensing, knowing, your own intuition, your own inner guidance. You know, the heart center being a navigational tool, your intuition and your heart work as a navigational system. And then, you know, the golden opportunities of the golden egg, the blessings. And it could be people, places, situations. Knowledge is knowledge is going to be key for everyone. The more you learn, the more you earn. You know what I mean? It's just like, but you're earning not just monetary spaces, but you know, brownie points with the universe. So the golden egg, yeah, it's really interesting how yours came in, because, you know, it's kind of like you could really create your dreams. You have to know your heart's desire. That's all. And if your heart's been closed off and you don't know what it is that you truly want, then it's always going to be foggy. I'm not too sure. And so when we're not too sure, we get fearful, you know, of the unknown, of not being sure what to do or where to go or how it's going to play out. And it's sort of just like, you know, someone's playing in the shower. You know, release the need to control and have trust in your connection with the universe. All right, so send that message to you with lots of love and good intentions. I hope it helps you now and in the future. Thank you, and take care of yourself, my friend. Thank you for the follows, guys. I don't really look at the messages when I'm reading, so it just allows me to move forward without being distracted. Thank you, Jax. It's going to go straight for the heart chakra. Every time I believe everyone's going to get the heart chakra tonight. I've been talking about eggs all day. It's interesting. Seeing eggs and talking about eggs. And eating eggs. Alright, so we've got Lex up next. I think it was Lex. Oh, is it Lex? Is there somebody called Lex out there? I don't know if I... Oh, that... Okay. Okay, sweet. So I was thinking, oh, I wrote the name Lex, but I'm not too sure if that's a username or someone's actual name. Okay, hi. Yeah, thank you, Jax. Hopefully that does help you. Don't be afraid, my friend. You know, love exists in you for a reason. No, sometimes love chooses you because, you know, it's held differently inside of you, and when you share it, it feels differently for others. So it's sometimes a blessing, and sometimes it feels like a curse, but the rewards for choosing to use it the way it's designed for is far beyond your wildest dreams, my friend. So lots of love to you. Alright, Lex, let's get into it. Would you like to take a deep breath? Breathing in slowly and deeply. I'll do the same. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so I got given the shark fin, and then I heard and I know that sounds weird coming from me, but sharks are usually an indication and a symbol for me that you might actually be suffering with, you know, spiritual awakening slash not too sure about this experience and having to fight yourself. Okay, how do I talk about the psyche? So when I see sharks, they usually represent that there are things that are, every time you try to heal, every time you try to change the way you think and feel, or even engage in practices that are of the spiritual nature or a different way of being, your mind is fighting you. So that could be if you're dropping into meditation, that you're having negative thoughts, or negative thoughts are coming out really loud, like loud. So sharks are usually about, in this, interesting, there is a shark in here too in this deck, so we'll see what comes up. We'll see what comes out. And it's kind of like, it's like something that you know you need to express and talk about, but something that you kind of avoid, but there's no getting away, because you'll always hear that song in the back of your mind going da-da, 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 da-da. You know, it's always this awareness that that thing is there. You know, the elephant in the room, even the shark in the room, the shark in the tank with you. You know, there's no avoiding it now. And the thing is, I often used to get like sharks attack me in my thoughts, because I'll be meditating and I'll get the visualization of literally, as I slowly sort of reached up into my spiritual space. You got psychic walls too, by the way. You've got what I call resistant markers. I just felt that as I sort of went like this growing up, I felt a wobble, which tells me that's a psychic wall. So I've hit a spot. And what I mean by that is that often when you try to let go, your mindset either says no, or you get this weird scary feeling, and that's because you have moved and thought a certain way for so long. Okay, and I had the same exact thing, that when you try to change the way that you think and feel and how you show up for yourself, your mind that has become very, very used to being fed a certain way, energy and thoughts. That's the brain, how the brain works, is that you're feeding it energy and thoughts, and it's functioning. It's become very used to that way of being. And so when you fight the system fights back. Have you ever seen The Matrix? You know, when they go into the Matrix, you know, Neo, and then you got those agents trying to chase them down. That is literally you're Neo going in, trying to free people, trying to free the neurons and the energy patterns that you've created. You've got Agent Smith going, oh hell no, Neo, I'm going to try and track you down and chase you, because you're in resistance to the way that you think and feel, because it's opposite to the way you've been. Okay, so if I made sense, I don't know if I made sense there. So it's like you're fighting yourself. And the thing is, there has to be a point where you surrender to that fight. You know what I mean? Like, so what I did was I had to stop fearing the shark showing up, because I'd have dreams about sharks jumping out of nowhere. I'd be driving along the road and the shark will literally jump out and bite me, and then I'd die. You know what I mean? It'll just be, it's shocking. And so I had to get used to that process, and over again. You know, like, and the more you fight it, you know, the more you win. That's the thing. And not what I mean by fighting it, but like fighting the urge to give up when it gets hard. fighting the urge to not fight, not face that shark, and then allow that fear to slowly ebb back. Just it's sort of like just, and then I just see a shark and I'm just like, there you go, take me, take me, and eat me, because I just had to let myself die. You're breaking through the ego. You're breaking down the ego, and what I mean by that, it's metaphoric. Okay, it's not actually death. It's just ego death. You're slowly breaking down the ego by not being afraid to let it do what it needs to do to process. Okay, so don't be afraid of the shark, and you're not crazy. You're just changing, and when you change, there is transformation is hard, not just energetically, spiritually, but within the mind, body, soul complex. It's hard on the mind, body, soul. Especially if you've been brain or mind dominant, and your soul saying, well, now I want a voice, now I want to see, now I want to know. And so it's like bringing things into balance, but this part's like, but I've been in power all this time, and this part's like, yeah, but now it's my time, and it's like, no, and you're like, but I need to, because it makes me feel better. And so you see the difference. And so there's this backwards and forwards in the psyche, and then we have to learn to just go, the psyche just going, well, okay then, okay, thank you, hello, I'm just bringing it up like that, like weirdly, but that's kind of like how we need to recognize it's the two different voices in our heads, the loving voice and the critic, that says, no, you can't, you don't, and it fights you. And at some point it just gives up, because it's like, what, this is not fun anymore. I've been chasing you and chasing you and chasing you down and getting what I want, and you're just allowing it to happen, because it's kind of like, okay, well, obviously I'm not winning anymore, because it wants you to react. It wants to feed into the negativity, because that's how it's been used to moving. Okay, so it wants to frighten you. It wants to make you feel scared. It wants you to feel bad, because that's how you've existed in your mind, maybe privately, for a long time. Okay, let's pull some cards. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh, tsunamis, you see, that's fear. Sharks and tsunamis are fear. So tsunamis can be about financial worry, but sharks are about an expression. So something that you need to share or talk about. So don't suffer in silence, my friend. If you're feeling overwhelmed by things, seek the love and support that you need in your life to move through this phase, okay? Right, let's pull some cards for you. Oh, that was fast. Boom. I'm going to pull that one out too, because I felt it. You've got, yeah, okay. So it's interesting. You got 3 cards. I'm just going to acknowledge the main one. I'll pull a tarot. Yeah, 7 of Swords. See, and that shows. It just shows where the mind's at. So even though eight of Swords would be like a mental mind flux, where we feel trapped and stuck. The 7 of Swords is when everybody else is dodgy. Okay, it's like there's someone in your life that's trying to take something from you, or it's more about like thievery, stealing things. But if we can translate that to what's going on, it's like, don't take my precious from me, don't take away the things that I want. 7s are about challenge as well, but higher learning from that. It's like if you used your thoughts properly, then you wouldn't have these negative feelings. Thank you so much. You wouldn't have these negative thoughts coming up. So as we know, swords are really sharp. So you might be dealing with some sort of negative based energy or fear energy that doesn't serve you in the mind. Okay, that's pretty much what swords can be about. But you got the raccoon as well, so we have to be mindful of the raccoon when it comes forward, because he's kind of like withdrawn, standoffish. They call this a trash panda. We don't know, because we don't have raccoons in New Zealand. We've got possums, if that's any. We might have stoats. I don't know. Don't really have, raccoons anyway. And so, he's kind of like withdrawn there, and he's kind of just sort of, there but not there. And it's kind of weird because the way that it feels, because that's kind of like a dodgy energy too. Sort of like for me, you can never trust the raccoon energy fully. So there is a lack of trust. And the downside to that is if you can't trust people, then you won't necessarily, I trust myself, but psychologically, you may not trust even your own decision making. So you might be, sort of like, don't like confrontation. Yeah, because there's an energy that I feel like you need to really have a really deep conversation with, and that you might be a little bit scared to do it. And I say scared because it's kind of like, with the shark energy coming in, the Seven of Swords being about something not really positive, not good for you. There could be, something that you see, sense and know about another or happening. And then you get the raccoon. He's a little bit shady, a little bit in the dark, kind of moves around in a sneaky way. Does feel like you're dealing with someone that doesn't have your best intentions at heart, but use your discernment with that. But on the flip side, you actually got the Moth, which is my torn card. Nothing's right, I'm torn. I'm all out of blah 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 blah. This is how I feel. Cold and I'm ashamed. Laying broken on the floor. I think I just made that up. So, with the Moth card coming there, sort of like my heart's in two places as well. So I don't know if that, should I stay, should I go, or was it even worth it? Kind of feels like, for me, it's kind of like, what was going to equate that to? Like the Seven of Cups, like lots of options, but not too sure which cup to pick, which way to go, what kind of feeling. So it's kind of, I'm just feeling a little bit lost. The Moth is not a like what we would deem as being beautiful, but it is beautiful in its own right, and it does have evolution type qualities. But like if you think about it, the Moth is kind of about the darker spaces, so we might be a little bit focused on the darker spaces. Yeah, illusion never changes something real. Thank you. I like that. Yeah, that's the song, eh? Sorry, I'm just looking at the card. It's quite intoxicating. But you also had the buffalo, so you had 3 cards fall out for you. So you had the raccoon energy. I believe that's just a amplification or confirmation about someone, an energy, a situation that's not serving your highest good, and that you need to be mindful of that. Also, the best way to counterbalance that, if they're being dodgy, is confrontation. That may not be comfortable for you, or it may be easy. It depends where you're at. But right now, you're kind of torn, broken, lying on the floor on the inside. That's not always good. But sometimes the thing about, it feels like I'm talking a lot. The thing about the Moth energy is that it is very similar to the evolution of the butterfly, but instead of emerging into the light, it emerges at night. So what that means is you're not a bad person. It just means that you still, in the mind space, are still, because it's the air element there as well, are still very not self-aware, but just still very stuck in the subconscious spheres. Okay, and it's just being straight up. And here with the buffalo in reverse, blocking that blessing, my friend. See, the thing about the buffalo is about abundance. Like we need to have abundant thoughts, which is spaces like I can grow, I can show, I can do, I can desire, I can do what I need to do to follow my highest good. But when we're in the buffalo in reverse, the imbalancement to the buffalo is that we may not have the thoughts, we may not have the feelings, or the knowing that we can have abundance in our lives. So I'm going to read the buffalo instead of the moth or the raccoon, because this is more positive aspect. And even though it is you just got to love the skin you're in too. Okay, so what I mean by that is you got to love yourself in a way that is yeah, beneficial for you as a person. You know, you've got to really say, you know, spirit guides, interesting. They just said, you know, you've just got to say, you know, fuck it, I'm just going to be me for once, and I'm good enough. Like, it was like literally you had to say those words, because it was to amplify and to emphasize, to you that this is serious business, you know. Cut that tie, cut that way of thinking, and move into some form of abundance. You know, it's like learning that you can, you know. That's the thing about awakening to the light, is that it does show you a way through things a lot better, instead of holding ourselves back. Oh, sorry, it's earth. Sorry, there's the raccoon. So the raccoon was talented, shadowy, and hiding. Okay, just so you know. Okay, and the buffalo, even though he's in reverse, I will read his card. It says, grounded yet heavenly, practical yet spiritual. So you're definitely torn between things. Am I this or am I that? So just clearly define what it is that you feel in your heart. So it says, the wolves of the mighty buffalo are grounded in the earth, yet its heart and mind rise towards the heavens. The buffalo sees challenge, hardship, or a bump in the road. I'll show you upright, as an opportunity for upliftment. Therefore, the buffalo does not fear death, illness, or misfortune. Its gentle eyes look to the road ahead, trusting every turn. May we all experience this elusive yet life-changing bliss from time to time, and may we allow this card to remind us that life is a precious gift. When in balance, trusting pure presence. When out of balance, restless, lacks gratitude. To bring into balance, prayer and bhakti, which I believe is like yoga meditation from India. But, you know, this is actually has a lot of things like that because of the chakras and things. So it does have a lot of stuff like that. So, you know, spending time with your body. That's what that is. Spending time in appreciation of your body. And I want to say this, we only have one life to live. Don't wait for your best life, because you'll be waiting forever. This is your best life. You are in it. Make the most of it. Do what you need to do to live the life that you actually deserve to have. Right? Okay? So hopefully that helps you. I send this to you with lots of love and good intentions. I hope it helps you now and in the future. Thank you, and take care of yourself, Lex, and hobby. You got this, you know. So let go of your worries, let go of your fears, and allow yourself to actually become the person that you know you can be. And you just have to find what that is, you know, for you. But please use your discernment about the other energies, because, you know, I don't know your life. I'm just giving a translation of what I know, sense, and feel. Okay. All right. So thank you, Lex. We've got Anne-Marie next. Anne-Marie, you're very welcome. Could you please tell me if my new business idea would be a good idea? You've answered your own question. You just look at your wording. Look at your wording, my friend. Is my business idea a good idea? And even though you could have used many other ways to describe that, thank you so much. Thank you, Hobby Duck. In the end, a good idea is usually represented as a good idea. So what I mean by that, and the way that I understand things, is that 9 times out of 10 when people ask a question, they've already answered it. Okay? So hopefully you understand that you actually internally realize that that's actually a good idea. Trust your own intuition, my friend. Trust your inspired ideas that come in out of nowhere. And believe and make sure you know that you can make the money, or make that business, or make that idea come into reality. Okay? Anne-Marie, I have the lovely tribe leader 1212 that's actually supporting me in the chat. So if you don't get a message from me, you can actually tag her and ask her for a message, and she might be able to help you as well. So she's helping in coordination with me, and we're just trying to help as many people as possible, and just building the courage to come here. All right. So if you see her, you can ask her for a message as well. Okay. Emery. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, Emery, if you'd like to take a deep breath, breathing slowly and deeply. Yeah. Yeah, the aching's getting really loud, isn't it, Anne-Marie? Like the aching, the loneliness, you know. I've got to put makeup on, so I can't see my birthmark. You showed me a fish symbol, so in your energy, as you know, fish represents trauma, and then I feel that feeling, and then I get the song, Something's Missing in My Life. And that was really loud, really crisp, so that's really present in your energy, which is a form of loneliness. You know, whether you're in a relationship or not, you can still feel lonely, okay? And I just feel like for you, you do tend to focus on, I feel like you try to focus on positive things, but your mind naturally wanders to the more negative side of things as soon as your energy gets kind of challenged or maybe forced to feel things or force things forward inside of you. Could be a situation, a trigger, a memory, a song, and then once you're caught up in that thought system, that you get stuck in a mind loop. And so once you're in a mind loop, you've got to go through that process of that whole memory, thought, message, song. And then we focus on our trauma. So you are not your trauma, my friend. Unfortunately, trauma is a consequence of living, of living our lives. Usually not given to us willingly. Usually it's forced upon us. That's why I said forcing, by another who cannot control their own spaces. So you're definitely not crazy. You're just going through something right now. Thank you. Oh, something came up. Yeah. You just need better boundaries, Anne-Marie. You give of yourself so much. And the thing is, you give of yourself so much and so freely and so willingly, and I always say this, I'm pretty sure I say this to you all the time, that boundaries are so essential for empaths in this time, because you're just going to have people just walking around you that is just going to be feeding you their vibes. And because you're, like for you, some people have an easy time shutting their heart off, you don't. But the downside is that when you use your heart energy, I always call it that little wound, the sacred wound, where there's a part of you that instead of being able to truly understand the message of your heart, it gets a little bit twisted and distorted. And so when it goes to the higher chakras, it's kind of creates this looping. So you have to recognize the wound. What I mean by that, the scar that is yet to heal, and why it's there. Like there has to be a really deep conversation with yourself, really look within for the places that you need to heal. Yeah. Because your spiritual team, they're really cheering you on. Like yours are kind. They're like, I'm getting sounds like, that's my girl. Like they're like, the reason why guides are the way that they are. So, you have to recognize that some of them actually, at some point, were actually alive and lived on the earth. You have those guides, you have angelic guides, you have different types of guides. So angelic guides are just ones that have never really incarnated here on earth. They're at different levels of being alive. I couldn't explain that completely. But it's kind of like your spiritual team understand you. They understand you. They know, they see the battles that you fight. And yours are kind, like I said, so they're not really putting you through the ringer. like they may do sometimes though. But it's kind of like, just recognize that there are energies out there that actually want you to be successful. And I might have said that before to you. So, you know, you really need to integrate that information. That there's not always, you know, you're not always alone. You're not always having to fill the void with something. Sometimes you have to learn to be empty. You know, there's certain people that are just too full. Or, you know, they got to sort of create space and capacity to understand themselves and to listen to the voices within that say loving words. And it's not a delusion. It's just, you know, like if you think about it, it's either the angel or the devil. Which one are you listening to? Which one? Because sometimes you might not be able to discern the difference. And so that's work. That's something that you need to do. That's a little bit of working on yourself and working on the master plan. Yeah, so there's definitely life lessons you're going through. I'll be sure of that to say. The whole, you know, and it's funny. I like your spiritual team, the way they show me images. They were like, Islanders, the master plan. So I feel like you're kind of at spaces, and even though you may need reassurance right now, you're literally at spaces of change. So allow the change, my friend. Allow the change. It's time to open up the way that you would. Like, it's I know that I say that and I was like, yeah, you can do this. Because maybe it's easy for me to say, but I know it's harder to do. So I don't expect you to do that tomorrow, or maybe you can. Or you know, like, or overnight. But in time, the ability to open will become easier. And that's because you're going to learn to tune in and find out what you really want and desire. And I've been saying that a lot tonight, but it just feels like everybody's heart's all over the show and they just don't really know what it is that they need and want. They're just finding what they think they need. And the downside is where you're getting your information from. You know, where you actually receiving your information from. Which, you know, which place is serving you the best. Which one is actually going to allow you to effectively create change in your life. You know, and if you hear something and you believe something that is negative, don't just immediately say, oh, stop being stupid, or oh, well, you're so dumb. You know, like, don't negatively affect yourself because you've made a mistake. Just recognize I've made a mistake, or I haven't quite made the right decision, but that's okay because next time I will. You know, you're reinforcing the ability to change that way of thinking. And be mindful of the words that you speak to yourself and also out loud, because the universe is always listening. And, you know, they're like really listening to you right now. They're really close. So just be mindful of what it is you're allowing to, you know, be felt and heard and seen by the universe. Because the downside is that if you constantly think a thing, that maybe that thing might come forward and it might be a negative thing. You know, I'm just saying thing because it's formless right now. But eventually, when you learn to tune your heart in and allow yourself to flow, and allow that flow, proper flow, you may be able to create something really beautiful in your life. And it can be really simple. You just, you know, it's sort of like, we don't need the big grandiose signs that say, I've created this thing though. If you can manifest that and that's what you want, that's awesome. But sometimes it's the simple things, the really simple, small things that matter. The things that happen and show up for you every day and that remind you that you've come so far. You know, don't ever discount the steps that you do take to change, to heal, to allow and to receive. Okay? Don't discredit those, because they are just as valuable as the big leaps and the big grandiose, you know, spaces that happen for some people. And a journey is really worth walking, you know. That's the thing about the whole living your life thing, is that you've got to start enjoying the steps that you do take. You know, enjoy them. And cherish these moments, because they come and go really fast and you take it for granted, but soon enough, those moments don't come and go so fast anymore. Okay? I'll pull some cards. Yeah, we've got the starfish, so we know we don't like to go too deep, because getting too deep gets too hard. Look underneath the deck, you've got the swan. Yep, so I'll pull your tarot card as well. So yeah, I love the swan energy. When you see animals show up, their intentions are pure like that. You know, especially the just in the visual aspects, just shows good, you know, presence. And then you've got the universe. What did I say? Your universal spaces, they're all listening to you right now. Yeah. And like I said, your spiritual team, they can see you. And the thing is, you see yourself like this, a starfish. Starfish is not a negative thing. It's not a negative symbol. It's a water sign, you know. But starfish, its characteristics, if we just look at the characteristics, is that they have amazing qualities, but they don't like to go into the deep ocean of emotion. And for spiritual spaces, you have to become one with that ocean of emotion. And so we're just sitting on the rocks, enjoying the comfort of the sun. But too much sun, what happens to a starfish? They dry out. They become void of life. And the thing is, this could be happening to you now. You have to learn to get into that deep water and, you know, exist there too. But the thing is, with the universe card showing up, I kind of really like it. So I'm just taking it at face value. I'm not really, because these are unique cards to this deck. It's interesting because it's kind of like, you know, it's listening to your heart. It's listening to your wants and desires, and it's saying to you, Anne-Marie, what is it that you actually want from me? What do you want me to give you? Because sometimes we want one thing, but we ask for another. And I know this too, because, you know, like, I do a lot of readings. I do a lot of personal readings, as you know. And a lot of people will ask questions. And, well, actually, some of them, they're loud questions. So there's one particular reading where you're allowed questions. And they ask all the questions around, you know, the truth, what it is that they actually want to ask. But they ask all the questions around it. And the thing is, and I'm not judging or anything. I never judge with the questions. But it's like I will almost instantly know what a person truly needs to ask. Okay, and it's the same as with the universe. It's kind of like, well, they know you inside out. So they know that your highest potential and your lowest potential. And they're just asking, what is it that you feel like you're getting? Which one? Which way? For you to experience. But the swan energy, the reason why I like the swan energy, this is about clarity. It is also a twin flame energy. So if you've had a twin flame space, I don't really believe in twin flames, my own personal belief system. But I believe in soulmates, and they can equate a different way. So it's just two different journeys. But for me, the twin flame journey or the twin energy is that, I see me, into me I see. It's the intimate spaces that you reflect within, internal, external. And if you're, like when I talk about my intuition and when I do the intuitive meditations, that it's like a crystal clear pond with no distortion. And it's kind of the same thing. If you really want to intuit, not into it, though it goes both ways, then you really need to understand your waters. And you'll never get there if you stay in the shallows. Okay? You'll never get there. And I'm not saying you'll never get there. That's actually really harsh. They didn't like that either. It's like, they're like, that's a bit harsh. I was like, yeah, no, you're right. You'll get there eventually, but you would have to make peace with whatever it is in there and actually see yourself. So there's if one of my posts, I've got all the videos of all the things I've ever made, like little myths over the True Soul Intuition years. Not all of them, but some of them. And one of them, it says, to really learn how to let go. It's a reflection one. So if you go into the post where I posted some photos of spiritual, inspirational spaces, or like words, or memes, I don't know if they're memes. They're not memes, like quotes. Then you'll go along until you find one that's yellow, and it's a reflection one. It's a lady, and she's looking into the water, and she can see herself reflected back. It's literally what that advice, and it talks about letting go and dealing with stuff. That's something that you would need to you really take on board. Okay, so it's a physical representation of the Swan card to actually allow you to feel and sense and know things with clarity. That's what you're asking for. My waters are not clear. I cannot see properly. I cannot intuit properly because I haven't yet discovered my connection to my own emotions or energy. Okay, but the universe, has your back, but also is listening. So just be mindful of what it is that you're thinking, that you're feeling, that you're speaking into your existence. Because the last thing you want to do is pull that in. Okay? So I know that you're wanting a soul connection. If you're not in a relationship now, or even if you are, it could be with your partner now, deepening your relationship, but you really want that soul connection. Okay? A deeper soul connection. Someone that sees you. But I'm going to tell you that 9 times out of 10, they will be the opposite to you. But so many of their qualities will be the things that you need in your life. Okay? Sometimes they're not always wrapped in the package that we would prefer. But the depth and the loving that you can get from someone who actually really sees you is completely different than someone that doesn't. Like, it's like a whole nother level. Okay? So, yeah, just be mindful. Have a conversation with the universe as well. Like, get out of your head, get into your heart, and really say to the universe, I need information and I need a message, and I'm opening myself up to receive it. But just recognize that to be able to fully embrace, higher messages or divine messages, you do have to create capacity to hold it. Otherwise, it will force you into a healing phase where it'll try to remove whatever it is taking up space that doesn't serve you anymore. So you have to grow and expand your energy to be able to embrace more and more information that serves you, that helps you, that nourishes and supports you in your life. Okay? So lots of love to you, Anne-Marie. I send this message to you with lots of love. I hope it helps you now and in the future. Thank you, and take care of yourself, my friend. Hi, Jamie. Kia ora, Jen. I actually do have a list. But if Tribe Leader is in here, if you'd like to get a message, I also have my lovely friend in the chat who's supporting everybody, and you can ask her and she can get you a message as well. Her name is Tribe Leader 1212. Don't be afraid to pull her in. Yeah, so talking, but listening. That's a skill. So we just have to develop that skill set just a little bit to be able to hear. So that's when you're asking them for a message that you would clearly know would be for you. So you have to be mindful of your words with the universe, because if you use just like general, you can get and then have the patience to wait. That's the thing, is that we want the universe to reply so fast. Sometimes they do. Trust me, that's really freaky when they do. But sometimes they just, they need a bit of time to bring that into your awareness, because you may not fully be able to receive it straight away. And that's what I said. Sometimes you have to create that capacity to receive as well. Oh, sorry, guys. Thank you for the follow, Dana. Hi, Sophie. I do have a list already. If you really want to get on, then I just take a PayPal donation, and that's how you can guarantee to get on the list. Other than that, it is just random picks. And I do give a free half-an-hour reading, which is a pre-recorded message sent to you via private link to your to the highest gifter at the end of the night, and we'll see how we go. And sometimes I randomly read, so it just depends on what the question is. So we have Lorraine now. Very welcome. Oh, kia ora me. What's your name? Trisha? No, you're not Trisha. I'll open up for the next round of names. So I've already got 3, so I'll take a few more names after this next round. So, okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that, because I don't always missing all the comments. Alright guys, so Lorraine, if you'd like to take a deep breath, breathing in slowly and deeply, I'll do the same. I got an old reggae song, and I've heard this before come through. I don't know. Oh, please don't let me slaughter this song. I wanna wake up with you, baby. I get this every now and then. I want you to be first thing that I see. I wanna wake up with you. Yeah, that's interesting. Sorry, they're just showing me images. Weirdly, Lorraine, I was going to say that maybe I'm getting a different vibe for you this round. You might not be feeling that, but it's just interesting that came in. So it does feel like they kind of just, like, I like the song, but it's weird how it kind of came in for me, because it was like a love song, but on the edges there was kind of like, if I could just visualize the energy, there's like this weird little feeling of sadness. So you may be missing someone, or thinking about someone and wishing that they were here with you, because it's kind of like, I want to wake up with you, I want to see you, I want to wake up and see you. You know, that makes me feel good, that makes me feel happy. I want to wake up with you. And that, if that's not someone in spirit, then that's someone in life. You do tend to hold on to things a little bit longer, so you're quite sentimental about things. And the thing is, it's sort of like, the way that I'm leaning, it's weird, because it feels like your energy is sort of just like sitting on this side of my brain, and it's pulling me. You know, it's like kind of how we feel like this, you know, like this. So it's a wishing, wanting space. You're pulling something. You're pulling something towards you. So I don't know if this is an energy that you want to come in, or you're willing somebody to come towards you. And as an ethical person, I would say, you know, you have to let love unfold. If that's about love, or if this is about energy that you miss, then you need to allow them to come in when they need to. But, you know, you just simply ask, I need a visit. Come and see me. You know, it helps me when you come and see me. Or, you know, but don't ask for them all the time. That's the thing we have to understand with our loved ones. And people are always wanting to know about your loved ones. I want to know if they're okay, and I get that. But at some point, you have to let them live their new life. You have to let them live their new life. Because life does go on. You have to live your life. They need to live their life. And if you're always saying, come back to me because I need you, because me the human, need you in this physical reality, you're asking them to come back into a space that is heavy and dense for them. Because, you know, it takes a lot of energy for them to come from where they are. Well, it feels like they're above us, but they're kind of around us. From where they are in consciousness to come down here where you are in consciousness, which, you know, in this dimension is at a very low rate, low vibration. That's why they always talk about, you know, when you sort of have that near-death experience, right, and then someone gets sent back, they don't want to, because it's like the fall is so like lonely and dense, and you got to understand what that means for your loved ones. And even though they can show up and share moments like signs, synchronicities, or through others, you know, psychic mediums, at some point you have to let them go and be free to live their life, because you know they're living it good up there, right? Or in that dimension, that there's no pain, there's no hunger, there's no negativity. Everybody's transparent up there. Everybody knows everybody, and they see through all the, You know, they don't have the human functioning like us. So we ask them to come back because they go up to soul state. That's what I mean. Soul state. And when you ask them to come back, you know, there's a conscious pull that they do to support us in this life. Yeah, it just feels like everything's a little bit stiff and rigid in your energy right now. So I don't know if that's a body thing or if that's an energy thing. So it doesn't feel like you're being very flexible. So you might be very set on something and that gets really hard if it's not happening the way you want. So just be mindful of that. Allow things to unfold. And a natural process may take a little bit longer than your expectations. But when you allow it to unfold in a natural way, the rewards are greater. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, I get it too. I get that too. So the visualization that I just got was, I'm going to say the three amigos. I don't know why I want to say the three amigos, but the way I want to say is like all for one, one for all. You know, like it's a weird feeling that's coming in with that. And they keep saying, they keep making me look at October. I don't know what October symbolizes for you. But the way that they're bringing it in is like there's three people lounging in sun chairs. They're like lounging and like it's as if like a photograph of three people sitting there, and they've got like some got their legs crossed, some don't, and or two may have their legs crossed and one doesn't. And it's just a weird memory photo thing that I've just seen, and it's like they're just sitting there. It's weird. The three amigos. Maybe they were always together in life, or maybe you were part of the trio. Maybe you're missing someone from the trio. But they're talking about the trio, the three of them, but they're all together, if that's something that makes sense to you. Okay, thumbs up. So I'm just letting the space unfold. Yeah. Alright. So, okay. I'm going to try and bring it forward without crying. But they said it's time for you to truly start to see. And what I mean by that is that often you're looking back and, you know, you're not seeing what's in front of you. And so they did show me like a forest. And what I mean by that is connection to family. That part may be hard for you. I'm not too sure whether you just need support or whether you need to make peace with family members. But it's kind of like, you know, it's just time to start walking through that forest and really seeing what's in front of you, the path laid out. Because if you're always looking back and always looking the opposite way you need to go, you're never going to truly see. And what I mean by that, there could be signs and synchronicities. There could be someone coming in that's going to help your situation, or there could be just their love coming towards you. But because you're not open to receiving, you're missing, you know, you're missing something. You're missing something. You're missing them, but also missing their love. You know, and it's weird because I posted today like this wave, like every now and then I get this intense but lovely sort of like warm feeling that fills my body, and I realize that someone sent me loving intention. Someone has thought of me that day and felt me in their hearts. You know, they were like, oh, Sonya, you know, it could be, you know, and I just feel it come in. And I was just like sitting there at my desk, and I was just like, you know, what I was actually watching YouTube. It's just sort of like checking out some of the things there. And then I just felt this beautiful warm sensation from my body. And I felt loved and connected to somebody and something. And I just went, thank you so much. You know, I thank the energy for allowing me to receive that. And I actually recognize that when someone sends me loving intention, I feel that, because my heart's open to receive it. And my mind not be there, but my heart is always open to receive that. And I get them a lot more than I would, acknowledge on the internet. That I get so many love waves and feel that in my body. And so it's sort of just like, that's what they're showing me, is that you need to be open to a love wave, because you're looking back, you're missing. They're literally, it's like you're not receiving it because you're very focused on what was, or maybe the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I wish I could have changed this or shifted that. So yeah, I get used to that, Trisha. That's, it's just like, I think you need to really start opening yourself up to the loving feeling that wants to come in for you. And it's not that you can't, you're blind and you can't see. It's just energetically opening up to receive things like that. Because there's people out there that love you, like out there, not up there, out there, that actually care about you. And I don't know if you are always aware of that, or feel often, a little bit caught up in the blues. Because they say, guess that's why they call it the blues. Who's that? Elton John? What is that song called? I'm just going to say, the blues. That's an old school song too. So that always reminds me of my grandfather. Sometimes he comes in and intuits for me. But yeah, let's pull some cards before I get too caught up in that. So that was, I had to sit with that a bit because the details were kind of cloudy. So we had to let your energy just come in slowly. So that may be a sign that you're, not feeling 100% strong. And so you're not quite, like I have to pull your energy in, basically. Pull you up. So, yep, see, fish energy coming up. That talks about trauma. We know that's fighting the natural flow, going upstream. So let's have a look, Lorraine. For Lorraine, please. Where high is good. Yeah, you got the swan too. And what's underneath the deck? The owl. So it's a companion energy, right? Yeah. Okay. It's a companion energy. I felt that in my gut. Someone loves you, honey, no matter what, just be my guide, baby. Someone loves you, honey. It's a companion energy. So I know that the owl came up this morning in my 10-minute collective reading, and we had the owl energy in reverse. So that's silent attacking of the thoughts. So with it upright, it's actually a companion energy, and you got the swan, and as we know, that's about emotional clarity. But you see the reflection? Yeah. Woo! Okay. Oh man. Sorry, they shot that right into my dome. The love. It's like, when I was talking about, was it with you? Into me. The into it, and into me, into. It's almost like, asking you to look into your own reflection and see them there. So I don't know if you look like the person you're missing, or there's similarities, but it's kind of like I'm in you. That's how they kind of gave it to me. It's like I'm in you. I'm in you. I'm a part of you. You just look at yourself and you see me, and I'm not going to cry tonight. You see me. And the way that they shot that in my head was like love. It's like boom, feel it. You see me. Look into the mirror and you see me. I really love that for you, because sometimes we need that, that little reassurance that we're not crazy. And then you've got the owl energy underneath, which is about seeing the unseen, companionship energy. So it's of the air nature, so element. So, be mindful that our thoughts are balanced. Just just find it. Okay, so it's abundance, clairvoyant, and treasures upright. The owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature found in folklore from the east to the west. The white owl in this particular deck is the companion of the goddess Lakshmi and represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. When the owl card appears, it's an omen that a boon or treasure is on the way. Love that. Either in spiritual or material form. With the owl wisdom on your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon, how it can further serve your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. So it says, when in balance, generous, trusting, secure. So we know you're in balance. When out of balance, money, quarrels, and scarcity. To bring into balance an offering. I believe they're asking for offering from your heart, my friend. And so let's pull a tarot card for you as well. Last one. You've got Moon Child. Yeah. So this deck has unique tarot cards. So the Moon Child says about, they were talking about clairvoyant. You know, the Moon Child has the same qualities. It's kind of like the way it's coming out, the words that came in were like indigo, like an indigo child, a rare quality that you do have. So I feel like I said, the universe is asking you to make space for some type of information to come in and not be afraid. So we're getting that for a lot of people tonight. It's about the heart chakra. You know, the moon child literally is your emotional space, your emotional intelligence, and tuning in. So don't forget about the phases of the moon. I said that in one of the other readings. Be very mindful of the phases of the moon and how they affect you, because don't forget the moon changes every 2 days and it moves into different houses and it's in different phases, and we have to be mindful of how, you know, the universe affects our physical bodies and where we may go with the energy. So as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. Be mindful of the phases, because it's a sign of sensitivity. All right. And so if the moon has, thank you so much, if the moon has fluctuations, you know, you're going to have fluctuations. And then you just ride that wave. Okay, that was literally ride the wave, you know, instead of being swallowed by it. But clarity, you know, as well with your emotional spaces. Your ability to tune in the way that you need to. Don't come from a place of fear, but from a place of love, and recognize when you are overwhelmed, when your sensitivities are heightened. You know, that's a time to step back. So for me, I take time off in the new moon. I take 3 days of rest, restoration, and realignment, so that I can fill my cup, but also that I'm not moving in spaces when the energy is not great for me. So the new moon, I take 3 days of maintenance. Okay, so send that message to you with lots of love and good intentions, Lorraine. I hope it helps you now and in the future. Thank you, and take care of yourself. Whew. Oh, that little spark there, that was like a spark. That's why I was like, whoa, what was that? That was like really sharp and fast. So I'll just explain, just to have a quick break while we go in between the lists. For me, the process of seeing, when I do get images and symbols and things like that, I have the ability, if you ever watch Minority Report, and I do say this quite a lot so that people understand, in Minority Report, they're pulling images and they're chucking them up on the screen and they're stretching them out and they're looking. I have the ability to, when I grab an image, and I have to be quick. That one I had to be quick to grab it before it was gone, because it was just like a flash. And you know, it's literally like a flash, and then I've got to push that image out to have a look. And so it's kind of like when it flashed, I had to really, I had to grab that, and then I had to really like pull that image to see what they were showing me. So I don't know if the Three Amigos made sense to you, but hopefully that helped you in some way, shape or form. Thank you. We all have the skill set. So as you see me with the skill set, you have it too. You just have to learn how to use your skills. You know, how to open them and how to use them. and what's more efficient for you. So when you use your skills in service, you're using them the way that they were created to be used, okay? To be of service, to benefit mankind or each other, and of course yourself. So don't forget that even though I give a lot of my stuff away for free, you know, there's still a place where I need to create income and do what I do. But luckily, pre coming into TikTok, I already had fairly decent reputation, so it's kind of flows the way that it needs to. I trust in the universe provides. But my skill sets and abilities, I've worked on them, okay, and I've put a lot of time and effort in learning. But we all have this, because I didn't have this always. I might have been born with certain skill sets, but I didn't know, you know, I had natural talents, of course, but I didn't know this skill set until I awakened to it, and I allowed it. That's through healing some of my own internal fears and subconscious fears, you know, the deep stuff. So it's taken a lot of sacrifice, a lot of tears, a lot of time and commitment, but my skill sets are exactly what you've got to. You just have to become aware of them, okay? So it does take practice, but you will. Alright, so we've got Zena. Is Zena still in here? Oh, yeah, learning, yeah, I guess that would be something. I do take, I do it once a year though, I don't do it all the time. An ethical reading class, which is about teaching you the etiquette to how to conduct a reading, and, you know, without cards and with cards. First we start with cards because you got to start. She's not, okay. Alright, Zena's not there. Okay, so we've got Trisha. Well, the best way to start is by learning to tune in to yourself. So that's taking those deep breaths and allowing yourself to become heart-centered. Because once you can activate the heart, like your heart, like technically, energetically, your heart is not closed. What I mean by when you got to open up your heart is that you've got to activate it and strengthen it. So it's like, you know, like doing weights, but in the heart space energetically. So once you really tap into that space, because everyone always goes here first, but I always talk about how if we go straight for the psychic intuitive abilities, but we haven't mastered the basics, we're going to be overwhelmed by all the, what I call flooding. It's like flooding. The information comes in, the symbols, the visualizations, and it's too much information for you to hold if you haven't got the capacity within your energy to hold it. Because the information that you get from the higher knowing, or, you know, your higher self, is compact with energy and information, and that takes up spaces. We know, like gigabytes, terabytes, we all know how much you can fit on your phone. For photos, it's a lot, so the universe will just download you know, a big download, and that may require that you actually have to do healing to be able to fully understand it and integrate it. So that takes practice, like I said, and just spend some time, you know, like really spend some time with people that you feel safe with and you feel inspired to learn, you know, really, because you find that when you listen to them, it actually activates some of your spaces too. So hello, okay, Trisha. Thank you, sorry, I wasn't. Oh, thank you, Lorraine. Yeah, it is a lot to take in, so you just have to be mindful that if you get a big download, that you have to integrate that into your knowing, but that goes through your body. So a lot of people, when they start, you know, really activating spaces, they get lots of downloads, and they may feel heavier. They may feel, or go through a bit of depression, or what I call healing phases, where you have to clear some junk out, you know, like some of your energy that no longer serves you, you know, so that they can bring in spaces to enlighten you. But the enlightenment is knowledge that supports and nourishes you towards a more, well, I'm going to say more positive, but really it's just a better way to grow and expand, okay? Yep, every emotion. Every emotion comes through. So you have to really tune into your heart and condition that to receive stuff. And I mean, I've bawled my eyeballs out on here a million times, and for people I've never met or know and never, they just came into the live randomly, and I've just given over my heart to it because it's appropriate for that person to get that healing. And it's not me healing them, it's me making them aware of something that allows them to heal. Okay, so it's not me being the healer, even though I say I bring in healing qualities. It's that I'm allowing them space for them to heal themselves. Alright, so Trisha, let's get into it. If you'd like to take a deep breath, breathing in slowly and deeply, I'll do the same. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to get the sad. I'll get the sad eyes. Okay, Trisha. So most of my visions that I get will kind of be like the way that my brain will interpret them is that I'll get movies, and sometimes I repeat the same scene to different people, but it's always different expressions of the same scene. But I just literally saw the Trolls movie, so I always talk about this particular scene because this always touched my heart. And I get the sad eyes because there's a part in there where, you know, all hope is lost, and the queen, the fairy, the troll princess, I forget her name, Penelope, it's P, Princess Poppy, there you go. And she's usually bright, she's always positive, she's always, you know, we can do this. And there's a point where her light turns off, like she dulls, and she's like usually vibrant and colourful and has pizzazz, and then her light goes out, and you know, her friend sees her, and he sings the song True Colours, right? It's the song. I'm not going to sing that song because if I sing the song I'm going to end up crying because that's always where it takes me. And they just said that, you know, Trisha has sad eyes. That's why I said I'm getting the sad eyes. Getting the sad eyes. She has sad eyes. And that's because at some point, you know, things became too much. And yet there's this energy that's, I'm going to say that this is someone close to you. If they're not in life, then they're in spirit. You'll know who that is because they would have come to mind. And it feels like they're encouraging you to keep going, because that's what her friend does. He sings the song. I'm not singing the song. He's like, you need to sing the song. That's the only way I can get them to stop playing that song over and over in my head. So I'm just saying that is just the energies. Sometimes they're my spirit guides, sometimes they're my loved ones, sometimes it's my higher, wiser self. It just depends on where the energy needs to come from for each person, okay? So my spirit guides are a lot more forceful. It's always the big songs, you know. It's always the big songs. They're like, oh, Sonya, sing that big ass song and murder it on live because that's what everybody wants. Oh, shush. Okay, so it goes, you with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, oh, I realize. I don't want to cry tonight, so I want to stop. The world makes you crazy, I know. The world full of da, 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 da. I know the chorus. When I see your true colors shining through, see your true colors, that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors, beautiful like a rainbow. Have hope, my friend, that things will get better. Have hope that something in your life will change and allow the light to come back. You know, because that's so deep, my friend, that sad eyes energy, that's so deep. Because the windows are the doorway to your eyes, and when they give me the sad eyes, I always feel a little bit emotional, because it makes me sad to see someone like that, you know, to feel like they have nothing left to give. You know, that's a dangerous time for people. That's a time when they don't trust anything, you know, they don't even trust the positive affirmations that they see, the positive voices that they see. They don't even trust the feeling in their heart to be correct. They just simply turn away, which makes them unconscious. And the downside is, when you're unconscious, you're more prone to the universe just throwing you in the deep end of everything, because you're not telling the universe what you want. You're not really believing that you can elevate out of a situation, because, you know, somebody may have tricked you or manipulated you in a situation, or you know, took advantage of your kindness, because you know you are an empath. You do need to construct better boundaries for your energy and access to you, and stand firm to that. So there are certain things that you need to change so that this doesn't happen to you, or that you don't slip into a negative space where all is lost. You know, I'm not talking about all is lost as in you're losing everything, but it may feel like you are. You know, it feels like you are. Like I said, there's someone out there that's saying, don't be discouraged, don't lose hope. And the thing is, a lot of that comes from, when we get that from spirit, that's because I explained earlier that they see us from our highest potential. They see that in us. They know us, you know, the soul space in which we come from. And so it's sort of just like, you know, that's why they always encourage us to create that in our lives, to create this soul purpose and live it out in the way that was always planned. And so there are certain key elements that we have to go through, or divine order of events that we have to go through, and that can be very hard. And it's even worse if you get hurt by people that are supposed to care for you, or, well, let's just say you're not supposed to lead you to this path. You know, there's a part in your life where you maybe trusted someone and you ended up in this situation, and you're like, this is not where I was supposed to be. You know, like, it does feel like we're not supposed to be here. I expected it to feel better or be better than this. I mean, you do try your hardest to really break free from this, the hold of darkness. When I say the hold of darkness, I just mean the darker aspects of thought. And you try to change more often than not, but it feels like your efforts it's like my efforts are worthless, because it doesn't seem to change. But that's, you know, I've been there. I devalued everything that I did to be of no benefit to others, or it just felt like that. It may not necessarily be like that, but it may be simply a metaphorical way of interpreting the energy, that it just feels like that sometimes. And I think most of the time you are pretty positive. That's probably why it gets really jarring. Or maybe in the past you felt really upbeat and positive, but of recent years things have really gone downhill. Well, just politely, you're probably resisting a calling to become more spiritual. But if you are already in the awareness that you are spiritual or spiritually awakening, then transition into the old ways to the new ways is always hard, but I'm going to say horrible. You know, healing's not easy, ever. I think it's probably one of the hardest journeys you ever take is learning how to heal yourself or to break free from the chains. They literally said, break free from the chains. So you're getting lots of, so you must get a lot of intuitive space anyway, because when I get different songs coming all the time, it's usually someone that gets a lot, thank you so much, someone that gets a lot of messages anyway. So the downside there, if you get a lot of intuitive spaces, but your heart is sort of like turning away, then you're missing out too. You're missing your own blessings. So I'm just being straight up with you. There are certain things that you need to change within you too. It's not just the outer world, it's also what you think and feel on the inside that matters. And if you're not going to make that change for yourself, how are you going to get through the, you know, your years of living? How are you going to get through to a more positive aspect if you don't choose that for yourself? You know, it's like taking sovereignty. And I always say this all the time, sovereignty is about, you know, taking responsibility and accountability for your thoughts, your words, your actions, your energy and your life. That way no one and nothing can take from you unless you allow it. You know, it's yours. This is your energy, this is your life, this is your body, and you share it the way that you feel is appropriate for you, not what others dictate. And that's the thing about being sovereign, is that you only give access to the things that you want access, not anything else. So like when I come in here, you know, there might be people that are sending me negative intentions out there in the world. You know, you don't know. They may say things, they may feel that in their hearts, but I never absorb that, because no one can take from my energy unless I allow that. You know, I don't share my heart unless I allow it. I don't share my stories unless I allow it. You know, I don't share my gifts unless I allow it. And that's just how you need to get. And you get out of the empath, always absorbing and taking on and having your boundaries broken and disrespected, to being clairsentient and knowing that I'm strong, I'm a powerful co-creator with the universe, and I'm valuable and needed at this time. And no one and nothing can take from me unless I allow it. You know, and that's the thing about with Princess Poppy. She got manipulated into a situation. You know, she got taken advantage of. Her positivity got taken advantage of, and she found herself in a situation. You know, they're about to get eaten by the other trolls, or the Birkins, or something like that. You know, they're like. And the thing is, there's a point where she allows her light to leave her. She, you know, her friend's like, hey, and she's like, no, I'm letting it happen. I'm letting it happen. Because I've just given up on myself, and that's why he sings that song. So you could have gone through a large phase of soul loss, and the downside to soul loss is that you got to go find those pieces, and you got to go put them back where they belong, so that you can feel whole and complete and connected to things. Otherwise, you're always going to feel disconnected. You're always going to feel like you don't belong or not whole, and that's. You know, we come here to live, not to die. You know, you look at everybody, they're like, we live to die, but dying is just the consequence of living. But we don't come here to die, we come here to live. Thank you so much. We come here to live, so it's time for you to start living truly the way that you want to live, the way that you feel is appropriate for you. So let's pull some cards, Trisha. Let's see where you're at. Ooh, just slow down that energy. I can feel my hands going like this, so take it easy on yourself, my friend. There you go. You've got the golden egg, so I love that. That is the heart chakra of the spiritual element, ether. And let's pull it out. I just want to have a look underneath the deck, so I've been doing that. Yeah, okay. So maybe not feeling safe, okay? So that's alright. Well, that makes sense, you know. It's hard to open the heart up when we're not feeling safe in our own energies and in our own lives. So there's some work that needs to be done. Maybe some ancestral space, some shadow work, whatever it is. Thank you. And you've got the Empress. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Let's spend the night together from now until forever. So the Empress don't take nobody's shit, by the way. She don't take nobody's shit. And she's earned her right to sit at that throne and have that abundance So just be mindful. The Empress energy means, you know, I govern myself. And the thing is, underneath the deck, sorry, slow down, Sonya. So your energy rushing, keeps rushing me forward. So it's here, you've got the golden egg, and underneath the deck was actually the elk in reverse. Okay, so for me, this is a physical representation of a masculine energy, but in reverse, someone that's probably a little bit narcissistic. You know, we got our standard. This could be an ex-partner, partner. Just be mindful and discern that too, because I'm not about breaking people up. But someone that had a dominating space in your life, and they were very selfish. You know, it's a masculine, a toxic masculine energy. But just be mindful that feminines can hold masculine energy too. It's not just about, it's just masculine energy. It's not about the gender of a person. So that's someone with, yeah, that's someone that's like their thoughts, you know, just be mindful that you could have a pattern of behavior that you've inherited as a coping mechanism. Okay, so we do that. We inherit our parents' thought systems and how they process and how we see them cope. But the cool thing is that you're not your parents, you're your own individual person, and you can take on and release thought systems and mindsets and belief systems that actually don't serve you anymore. And you can simply say, well, if this doesn't help me, I release it for my highest good. Okay? So just be mindful of the energy of the elk coming in, where it causes this negative sort of like thing, because upright, it's a very dominant energy which says powerful thoughts that lead me to spaces that make me expand and grow. But here it's kind of like, and then I'm growing in the way that's not good for me. You know, the thoughts that don't serve, or energies that don't serve your higher good. So what I mean by your higher good is the highest potential you could have in this life, okay, and for your benefit. So don't forget the Empress, she rules her space, okay? She don't take nobody's shit. Doesn't matter who, even if they seem like a higher standard or status than them, she knows she is allowed certain privileges, and that is that she governs herself, okay? She reigns, all right? And then we've got the golden egg, which is about the heart chakra. I have read this before already, but, well, we can read it again. Why not? Is it? The Anahata, one of my favorite chakras. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vicky. So we got the golden egg, and it says, message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. Okay. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned, until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga. This is the chakra, so they're going to bring in yoga because it's Hindu or Indian based. You know what I mean? The teachings of the chakras are Indian. So if you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. Yeah, that you're loved, okay? And that's what a lot of people don't realize, that 9 times out of 10 when spirit comes in, they come in with love for you. That's your spirit guides, your loved ones, your ancestors. Well, the ancestors that support you, because not all our ancestors are the greatest, but the ones that actually support you, they come in with love. And that's how you know that it's your spiritual space. It's because you'll feel this, what I call a wave of love coming in, loving intention. And that's A, someone's thinking about you, or the universe is loving you. So maybe it's just time for you to feel the love, my friend, and let that message come forward. So this is something that I do for my children. I teach them how to read for themselves when they have questions. So this is just a quick way of doing it. I'm just going to give it to you, especially if you have tarot cards or any kind of oracle card. Just even playing cards, if you can interpret them into tarot cards, it's good, because don't forget tarot is based on actual playing cards. But what I get for my children is sometimes they find it hard to talk to me, right? And they find it hard to communicate their hearts. And so my daughter last night, actually the other night, not last night? No, yes, last night, she was having difficulty expressing something. And I says, I tell you what, put your hand on the card, on the deck, and just say, so she's like this, she's got her hand down on the deck, and just say that you would like what does my heart need to know right now? Okay? And then I told her, pick the deck up and shuffle it a few times until you feel, you know what, this feels good. Okay, this feels good. Alright, I'm going to stop right about there. And then I said, take the top card and face it down, and then take the bottom card and lift it up. Okay? So we have a look at the bottom. So I'm going to do the same thing for you, because this is the way it's coming in for anyone out there. We see the Page of Cups is what's unseen. Okay, so what we don't know is a Page of Cups. So what is that? That's a new beginning in love, a loving space, some type of student learning. But for me, it's also about the initiate into a spiritual journey, someone who is gifted, right? And then you got the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups. It's the thing that you should know right now, which is that, you know, Knight of Cups is about joy, bliss, happiness, love. Yeah, it's a good card to have. So it's kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. Actually, I think I need that. That could be also a younger person that is water energy that you're dealing with, or, you know, like, and it's just that, and it's like learning how to talk to yourself and asking the questions that the cards can actually answer for you. And you just have to build the confidence that you can understand. And if you don't know the cards, then look online. They have all sorts of meanings. And, you know, find the meaning that actually resonates. Don't go searching and go, not that one, but just like go, okay, there's a whole page full of Page of Cups, so I'm going to listen to this message. You know, trust your own guidance, this message, and that's the only part that you'll read is that message from this card. So even if you don't know how to read cards, it's a good way to ask questions and get answers when you're, you know, in it. When you're in it. So that may be something for you too. That may be if you, even playing cards, like I said, even playing cards. So maybe I should read playing cards one night. And this is why I can't play cards with my friends or my family. This is why I never win cards when we like playing stuff. It's because I read cards. So as soon as they start, like I don't read cards like counting cards, but I read their cards, so I always know where everybody's stuff is at. So I was like, you know, I just can't play a simple card game anymore because I could, you know, read anything. And that's the downside to it. But yeah, so I just feel like, you know, maybe it's just time that you start tuning into your heart and making things make sense for you as well. Okay? So hopefully that made sense and covers all the bases. And I send that message to you with lots of love and good intentions. I hope it helps you now and in the future. Thank you and take care of yourself, Trisha. Whew. Okay, guys. All right. Thank you, Trisha. I appreciate that. Yeah, because you do. You need encouragement to turn your light on. Hi, Edina. Yeah, don't play poker with me. This is how I, you know, I like a sneaky, but it's kind of how I get my kids to, so I can see where they're at mentally and emotionally, and maybe even spiritually. And that's what I did. I just gave you the cards. Said, pull some cards for me. You know, what kind of game should we play? Let's pull out some cards. And she goes, how many cards? And I said, like, whatever, how many cards you need to pull out. And she pulled out all these cards. I was like, oh, okay. And that's why I can't play cards with my kids, because they know that I'm reading them. And I don't mean to, just, you know, as a parent you want to know sometimes, but you also got to learn not knowing either, because they got to live their lives. I love poker too. Actually, I'm pretty good at poker, but I can't play with my friends or my family, the ones that I'm really close to, because I'll just get all their stuff through the cards. So it's like learning to, you know, like turn it off. That's the hardest part. I kind of go through my processes, and sometimes, you know, I can play cards without reading everybody's souls, but yeah, it's just something I'm aware of. You know, once you see things, you can't unsee them. Once you know them, you can't unknow them. So it's kind of like I let everybody play cards, but I never play. How can I ask to get a reading guidance on a sibling relationship? I know that sometimes people want to know other people's thoughts and feelings, but we have to be mindful that their thoughts, their personal thoughts, their private thoughts and their private feelings are their private business. So we have to be mindful what we're asking when it comes to our siblings. If it's to reconnect, if it's to you know, make a situation better, it's different, because that's of service, that's going to benefit the situation. But if it's for nefarious means, I won't read that way. Yeah, respect for that person. Okay, that's good. Well, it depends. If you want to get on the list, then that might be not this week, because they're pretty full. But if you want a personal reading, then there's personal readings there. You just have to go into my link. There's a link tree, my bio. There's a link in my link tree that says book an appointment. Or if you're the highest gifter at the end of the night, which is going to be soon, guys, because I've actually got my granddaughter tonight. Then, because I'm taking her to Chipmunks in the morning, she wants to go play there with her whānau. Yeah. So what I was up to, I lost track. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. And there's different options there as well. Or you can find a video. If you find one of my videos and you want to ask a question, that's another way, but then I will reveal that through a video reply, okay? So just be mindful. If you don't want everyone to see that video, then it's probably better to get a personal reading. I do have, you know, the just a pre-recorded, if you don't want to sit with me one-on-one. Those are, you know, my main readings, my one-on-one personal readings are $85, but that is an hour and plus. So we just go till we get the message sorted and everything gets clarified the way that you need, so that when you leave, you feel like you've actually gotten enlightenment in that reading. That's usually how I work anyway, even with the free ones. But yeah, sometimes it's easier to get more in depth on a personal level. So I'm not encouraging, I'm just saying, if you feel drawn, feel free to book with me. But yeah, we've got Aisha now. Aisha. Oh, on my stories? Yes. If I get to it in time, because sometimes I don't think I can reply in stories, but I can. If you ask the question, then I can create a video, because with stories you can't create a video reply. You can reply in the comments, which I know I haven't posted too much today because I've actually been really busy, but yeah, any video really, if it comes up, then I can have a look. And it's interesting what people actually attach themselves, what video they attach themselves to, because even that's a message on its own. But alright, guys. Yeah, good luck, Aisha. The lovely Aisha. Is she here? We're here? We're good? She good? Yep, I see her. Alright. Thank you, my friend. Yes. Yeah, at the end. So the person with the highest gifting at the end gets a half an hour recorded message with me. So they get to state what question they want to ask, and they will receive it that way. Okay. All right, Aisha. Here we go. If you like to take a deep breath, breathing in slowly and deeply, I'll do the same. So it might have been a bit of a confusing week for you, my friend. I was literally met by a sand wall. You know, like when you see in like movies and like a sandstorm, that's it. And there's like this wall, because I'm actually weirdly getting shown spaces about Dune. Okay, Dune, which is the movie where they're on a planet of sand, basically, and it's got the sandworms. But it's kind of like they're talking about the sand a lot. So sands of time. Yeah. Long time coming, isn't it? Soulmate energy. Sands of time. Yeah, tick-tock of the clock. What am I hearing? So they're just kind of like shouting words at me right now. So with the sands of time, let's quickly interpret that. That just feels like something's taking a long time. But also it kind of took me to, you know, when you hear the dramas and these are the days of our lives. So, I don't know, confusing, a bit of drama maybe with others, or maybe you see that happening in other people's lives that might have made you be very particular about the kind of energies you allow access you. Because it's sort of like, I don't want to live out mistakes, but sometimes you got to make mistakes in love, my friend, to learn. Sometimes the mistakes are not nice to learn. I mean, I'm straight up. Yeah. Yours is always about time, eh? It's always about time. Yeah. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. What's that? Fly like an eagle, that's it. To the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. Yeah. Yes, that's weird, your energy. So it's like my mind just keeps going off into dreamland. Like I just want to have a big old sleep and just wake up in a really nice, beautiful, happy dream, you know? Like weird, like a dream. You know how you have dreams and you like live out a whole life there, and then you wake up and you're like, it kind of reminds me of Inception, but like for you it's different. It's like you know, all your friends are there, and yeah, because if we think about Dune, the movie Dune, which I just watched recently on Netflix, the guy was having dreams of a soulmate, of someone, of a love connection. Maybe you've been seeing someone in your dreams. But there's that sand wall, so what's that? That feels like a block or a not sure space. Your thoughts. Yeah, thank you. Your thoughts, your own personal thoughts, sort of create the smoke screen. So it's sort of almost like you can't determine the difference between a thought and a fantasy. But fantasy, like the dreamlike aspect of what you're wishing for. It's a visualization spaces for sure, because yours is all very visual right now. You have plenty of time. Always feels like time rushes so fast. And then, you know, when you're young, you don't notice the time go. And it's not till you get to a point where you're like, every day is precious, you know. I mean, I know that too. And I have to always remind myself that I've always got time, that time is my friend. You know, I say that a lot to people. So I have to be mindful to catch myself when I try to think anything less. You know, there's a real loving way to your energy. You may not feel like you're graceful, but whenever I look at your energy, it always moves in a graceful way. It was literally like stopping and looking at a rose and just going, that is a beautiful rose. That rose right there, that rose is beautiful. Like this genuine appreciation for like these really small but yet magnificent little everyday things. Like you do spend a lot of time in the moment, which is good because that really lengthens. So the more you spend in the moment, the slower time goes. You do realize that. So you stay younger longer when you're in the moment, when you're present. And yeah. How do I live without you? What's that song? I want to know. How do I live without you? If you ever go, how do I ever? I'll never survive. That is a high note. What am I in there? That's a love song. That's a love song. That's a love song. It always gets abstract for me. Like it always goes like metaphorical, you know? Like it like drifts in and out your energy. Literally it just drifts in and out of different spaces and moves around. You've been doing that a lot too. Like your thoughts. So they were saying about your thoughts. It's like you've been getting a lot of thoughts and you've been feeling and sensing and knowing things. And it's kind of like it doesn't feel like it's in your life. It feels like it's in a different life. Which, is that a past life or a future life? Or is that the current life? Like time is different, present tense. Present tense. No, tense. The tense of the timing. And then you get that love song coming, but that feels older. Like it's like when I feel energies like that, or songs like that, they come in different ways. So it kind of feels like that just drifted in from behind, you know, just someone loves you. It's that song again. That came in for you too. So let's pull some cards. Let's pull some cards, Aisha. We need to find out what the frick's going on. Getting all these random... I don't know how to connect them yet. Okay, for your high school, you got the crow. It's underneath the deck, turtle in reverse. Let's pull your tarot card for your high school. You've got the Four of Pentacles. Oh no. So when I looked at the Four of Pentacles, I got the song Never Gonna Get It, Never Gonna Get It, Never Gonna Get It, Never Gonna Get It. What's that? That's on Vogue. Whoa, 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 whoa. Never Gonna Get My Love, right? What's that? I'm trying to remember the song, sorry. I can hear the words. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So with the Four of Pentacles, it is about, you know, like saving your pennies for a rainy day. It is about feeling a little bit lack or less than of money or energy or time, or I don't think it's time, I think it's more physical, tangible things. So there may have been a space where the Four of Pentacles, where you felt cut off from being yourself or from your own expression. And the thing is, yeah, so I'll just read this from the cards because it was just a little bit harder to pull in your energy, my friend. I'm so sorry. But it just feels like you've had to dim your shine for so long now. And the thing is, that shine, it hasn't gone away. It's still there. And that need and wanting to express it. And that could literally be moving or shifting to a different, completely different vibe. But the thing is, you have lost a little bit of faith in being able to move towards the things that you want. Because like you're using your skill sets and abilities, like this might be dreaming astral spaces with the crow, because the crow is kind of like the guide for like afterlife, but also intuition, you know, strong intuition. But you might be using your skill sets in a way that doesn't benefit you. I'm not going to say in a negative or bad way. It just feels like it hasn't been working. So your thoughts might have been a little bit overwhelming recently, which has lowered your natural vibration to be quite loving and kind. So I'm seeing the positive aspects to you, but I'm also recognizing that that's not always so, because you're human. So, you know, what I mean by you're human is that you're not perfect. You're not always graceful and kind. Sometimes you might be a little bit just like the rest of us, a little bit messed up sometimes and not always onto it. You know, like you have to give yourself credit for when you're doing right, and acknowledgement when you aren't quite on board with everything. And maybe this might have been a really hard time for you, and it could be something to do with your health as well. So just please be mindful of something not making you feel too good right now, and that could be why you're getting a lot of different like random stuff coming in, because the thoughts are kind of scattered. That's the way I want to describe it. It's the perfect way to describe it. And because we got the crow on the up, which I'll read that one, and underneath we got the turtle in reverse. So, you know, if the turtle upright is about like ancient, no, it's about cycles, this particular card, but as we know, slow and steady wins the race. What happens if it's not moving at all? You know what I mean? Like there seems like a bit of stagnancy there. So we'll read the crow. Let's see what it says. Okay. So the crow upright, by the way, is spiritually strong, creative, and watchful. The crow has long been a symbol of magic. A crow personality is drawn to the supernatural and has a gift for seeing the unseen, knowing the unknown. It is said that the crow holds within the mind's eye the three realities: past, present, and future. That's why I was getting weird, couldn't tell the difference with what time we were in. Okay, that's starting to make sense. Crow energy is potent and should only be tapped into when the mind is clear, so we know the mind hasn't really been clear. Those with crow tendencies must balance their lives with a healthy diet, joyful friends, and regular self-study. When in balance, psychic, strong, clear. When out of balance, ungrounded, hypersensitive. And to bring into balance, daily meditation practice. So get zen, my friend, get within, you know, do your due diligence when it comes to your spiritual journey, because I feel like right now, like I said, you have skill sets and abilities and you may not be using them the way that more efficiently. I'm just going to say darker side was probably a little bit dramatic, but just like use them in a way that benefits you. So you know you're quite intuitive, you know you sense and feel things on that deeper level. And you know, because the crow, it always reminds me of the actual movie The Crow with Brandon Lee, and he's like the seer. He sees and guides him to the people and places so that Brandon Lee can exact his revenge for what they did, which was murder the love of his life. And so, as we know, the crow, even though it has great intentions, can sometimes be used for not so much the greater good, but for the greater personal good of someone, not so much the greater good for all, which, as we know, when we use it against what our skill sets are naturally made for, then we aren't using them right. So you can't will something into being unless it's ready for you, so you have to be in the better state of mind. And you may feel like you'll never get there, but my friend, you have time. Okay, so I feel like with the crow energy, that's also a message not to give up as well. You know, like you've got potentials there. So as we know, the egg for me is, you know, unlimited potential. So we've been talking about eggs all day, I swear. And it's kind of like, you know, you're right there on that egg. You have potentials to do what it is you need to do. So it's just learning to turn that frown upside down. Turn that turtle power on, my friend. Turtle power, you know, not just floating along and being in flow, but like get motivated and move out of a stagnant phase of your life so you can be guided to what it is that you truly, you know, want to move towards, which is, you know, using your skill sets better, right? And recognize that you don't come from a space of lack or without, that you are enough. You are enough. Okay. There is enough. And hopefully that makes sense for you. I send that message to you with lots of love and good intentions. I hope it helps you now and in the future. Thank you and take care of yourself. I know that was kind of fast, or at least it seemed fast. Yeah, no, that was a bit of a trick there, because it was just like, it was like, it's like getting the pieces of puzzle, the bigger picture, but with all the pieces not matching. It was like, whoa, what was going on? So I know that they might have to really pull everything in and get right with you, you know, really take that time to tune in and bring everything in, get into a meditation, get into a balancing space so that you're not overwhelmed. That way you can return to your natural grace, which you have. Oh, thank you, my friends. Appreciate that acknowledgement. All right, so I'm going to take one more, and then I'll announce the person that got the free half-an-hour reading. So the lucky last, there was a lady that asked, and I forgot to put her name down. But we might, we've got 34 in here, so that person might still be here. So if you like one, just put your hand up. Say yes, me. Because it's only because I think I need to, yeah, and I was going to look at the clock, but actually it's the time right there. 9:35. Okay. You don't know, did you need a reading? Okay, I'm going to, Aroha, I saw you've been saying it as well, and I'll do you and Irina. I'm sorry about anyone that didn't get picked today. Just know that it is pretty random with the picking, but if you get in early on a Tuesday and Thursday, next week is my last week before I take a week's break, because I'm going on holiday. I'm going to be going to Auckland and having a family vacation up there. So just realize that Tuesday and Thursday next week are my days. I don't do any readings or lives during the weekend, because I do a lot of personal readings during the weekend. And so Tuesdays and Thursdays are my days, and I'm so sorry if you missed out. And I don't do too much because it's about, you know, quality, not quantity, everybody. You're not a meat processing plant. This is a heart processing space, and so hearts need care, tender loving care. All right. Aroha, you're one of the lucky last of the two. If you'd like to take a deep breath, okay. But there is, don't forget guys, there's Tribe Leader. She is giving messages as well. She's just building up the confidence to go live, but we'll get there. But she's also giving messages if she's still in the chat. Okay, I'm sorry if I haven't been. Oh, you're very welcome, my friend. Very, very welcome. Okay. Oh, you're fine. You're fine, Aroha. I saw you. I see you. Alright, here we go. Gonna take that deep breath in. So I'm probably just going to give you a reading about your skill sets, because that's what's already coming into front of my mind. So we'll just see what happens when we tune in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're just confirming. Yeah, this, it was weird because it was like, come on, Sonya, you can pick them out of the crowd. You know, it's something that I've always been able to do, like since I've started doing the intuitive space, and just more intuiting instead of just card reading. Is that you can almost pick the ones with the skill sets out of the crowd, and it's just it's just something I don't know. I could always pick the song that would go number one. You know, I could always pick the winners. I know it sounds weird, but I can't pick it for myself, but it's also always in others. So, you know, you feel, sense, and know a certain feeling that allows you to, it's kind of like a string, you know, it's like a frequency, thank you, where you just struck, where it gets struck, and then you just hear this weird feeling frequency, and it's like, oh, someone's got something. So, and they were just saying, you know, you can pick them out of the crowd, which makes sense. So I did pick you out of the crowd. So we'll see how that unfolds. But yep, aroha, interesting. This is something I say a lot of the times about people, is that 9 times out of 10 when they have skill sets and abilities, they either come forward as the name that they have, their actual name, or they come forward and they choose a name that sits with them, that suits them. So why I created True Soul Intuition is because I wanted that True Soul Intuition. That's why that name, so TSI Sonya. But as I came along, you know, I started saying, hi, I'm Sonya from True Soul Intuition. So I just added my name in there. But the original name was True Soul Intuition. And I'm saying it fast because I say this all the time. And it's funny that you come forward and your name is literally Aroha, which is love, which is about the heart. As you know, it's about sharing this feeling with other people. So, you know, you do have clairsentience. That we all have that though. So that means that you're probably an empath, or may identify as an empath. But once you develop your skill sets, you will elevate a lot higher. And your willingness to learn as well. You did mention that. This really strong ability to want to learn. Well, it's not really an ability, it's an urge. And the thing is, the more you step into that world, the more you will unlock certain layers, and that will open up skill sets. So they don't always come in all at once, unless you're already intuitive at a young age. That will help be able to integrate them all in faster. Yeah. Yeah, so they're showing me Tibet. Sorry, it's coming in like this. They're showing me teachings, so like ancient teachings, like you might be interested in, not so much Tibet, but it might be Egypt, or the history and places of significance, of sacred significance to you that you might look at. So like for me, I always wanted to go to Machu Picchu. Don't know why, but I always wanted to go there. I always wanted to go to the pyramids. Like I always wanted to go to these sacred sites because I wanted to, I don't know, experience them, you know? Like experience the energies, because I know as an energy sensitive and intuitive that those particular sites have energy, and I've always wanted to not only see them but feel them. And they're kind of like chakras too. Sacred sites are like chakras. And so, you know, you come forward to me as literally a big red glowing heart. So clairsentience for sure is maybe a dominant space for you. So you feel things in a way that is a lot more deeper than others. So, you know, it's like you might sometimes be in a crowd of people and everyone will be laughing and crying, but you're going to feel that one person that isn't, and you're going to feel why, and you're going to know why, and you're going to gravitate towards them, and you're going to want to put your hands on them and comfort them. This is something that you've done probably from a really young age, is that you can spot out all the really sad people in a crowd. You know, like some people can, and then me too, because I recognize sadness in others. But it's like almost like an energy pattern that you're just like, that person right there. You know, and at first you might be like oblivious to it because you might be engaged in, just places call me, so yeah, that's I'm right about that. So it's kind of like you could be engaging with other things, but once you sense, feel and know it, you can't pull your eye away from it. I once told a lady, and I was drunk as, and I wish I'd never done this. I once told a lady that I was crying because she was dying. This is what I said to her: you're dying of cancer. You're gonna die of cancer. You're dying. I'm so sorry you're dying. And I had this big breakdown. And my friend brought this up maybe like about 3-4 months ago, and she was going, "Nah, babe, you were like you were really drunk, but you know, like you, as soon as you saw that lady, you just started crying your eyeballs out." Didn't know her. I didn't know who, but I started crying because that kind of frightened that lady, and I believe that she actually went and got herself checked, and she actually caught it early. She caught it early. You know, that's like I was drunk as, but it just activated in me, and I was just like, you're going to die of cancer. And I bawled my eyes out. My friends literally had to haul me up and put, because I would keep trying to go back to her because I just wanted, and I was crying at her feet. And I was really, really drunk. So that's, you know, alcohol and spirituality don't mix because you don't have that filter. But, you know, my friend was like, you know, because she knew her, who knew the whānau. And she was like, yeah, no, you actually helped her. You're not crazy. And that was probably a few years before I actually experienced a spiritual awakening. So, you know, it's natural talents that you have. It's natural. So you have a similar talent to be able to pick people out of the crowd, and that can be really hard because you may not know how to discern from your own stuff. You know, like you might sometimes take that in and heal that through your body. That's the empath state, eh? And the thing about you is that, you know, you really got to listen to your heart, because it pulls and tugs a lot. And I think sometimes you don't trust that, which is standard. If you've never been told that's what you got, then you never know that that's what you got, and you won't know how to use it. And so it's literally asking you to really listen to your heart. You know, because like my name's Sonya, right? And I used to think, you know, what is it in a name? You know, and then you look up what your name means. And for me, my name means wisdom. And it's weird because I have vast amounts of wisdom. I don't know where it comes from. It just comes out of me, and there's stuff that I can't stop from coming out, but it just keeps trying to communicate the knowledge. It's like knowledge, pouring knowledge out. And I thought, out of all the names to be called, it's that name. Because there's no consequences. Oh, no, is it coincidences in spirit? Sorry, there's no coincidences in spirit. There's always a reason. And so the same as with you. You know, if this is actually your real name, or even presenting as that name, it makes sense that it's you. It's just time to trust that. And the thing is, like, yeah, you hear them. You can hear, literally they just got sending out an SOS. And I want to say that's about you, but actually it's probably about people around you. You know that there's probably like 2 to 3 key people around you that are really suffering right now, and you don't know how to help them, but you help them by being in their presence. So you have a healing presence. You just simply be around people, you're sitting around them, and they're healing, because your frequency will trigger them. And also that can be not feel good when you're around people and they seem to not really like you for no apparent reason. That's because of your energy too. So it can be confronting for people that have a lot of shadow. So those that choose to live in darkness. What I mean by darkness is unconscious and not being aware. Yeah. I would say one thing that you could do to improve your skill set of this knowing is, well, of course, grounding and meditation, okay? But it's kind of like looking in the mirror and talking to yourself lovingly. I know that sounds weird, but it's like you've got to start putting that into your, you know, your line of sight. Truthful, open, surrendering awareness of who you are, and talking that into your life, you know, to yourself. You're talking to the inner self. You're talking and awakening the awareness of the inner self. So your inner self is always aware, but it's you connecting to the person behind it all. That's how you're going to really amplify your skill sets. So there's us here, but then there's us here. And so we have to recognize that if you really want to tune this part up, then you have to know who us is here inside. It's an inside job. And some of us are just designed to see, sense and know things a certain way. Because I know everyone wants to be the psychic. So it's like, you know, they always want to be the psychic, the psychic medium, and the drawing. You know, how many pictures, how many lives have you seen one go like this? Yeah, your dad's here. Yeah, he's wearing a red jersey, and he said, you know, his and they're doing all these things because they're imitating a behavior. They are imitating a behavior because of Tyler, right? He's the child psychic medium, because he draws pictures and he's like, so they mimic. It's a mimic, and it works too. Like doodling works because you kind of just, it's like flowing, but it's like, how many people started doing that after they saw that technique, so they employ that technique. And so for you have to learn what is authentic to you, your way. So it's learning those techniques and then taking them and using them the way that you need to use them, not the way that they use them. So that's why you have to learn who you are, because it's the only way you're going to have control over your skill sets and abilities. And, well, I would say that's only one of your gifts, but I feel like if I fill your cup too much, it gets, you know, you start thinking like you've got to really activate these places. So of course I'm going to focus on the heart space, the loving space for you, and you know, enact or enable the loving presence, which is just a beautiful healing frequency. And what you sense and feel in others, the SOS from their souls, is a frequency that you'll hear more clearly, but also you'll understand the balance of that frequency and bring in the right vibration. You know, like when I talk about vibration and frequency, it's just like an awareness and a knowing that creates positive solutions, positive thought forms and energy for people, so they can enhance, heal, grow, or move forward. Okay? And to truly understand your gifts, you must be free of all the things that hold you back. You must learn to embrace fear and recognize fear is the illusion. So, appropriate amounts of fear, good. You're in trouble, fear is the thing that you need to bring in to keep you alive. But if you're not, release the fear. Whatever fear that is, that you may be ridiculed, that you may not have the skill, that you may, you know, all these doubts, should, coulda, wouldas, worries. And it's like, really for the heart chakra, you need to release fear. You have to feel safe when you do it. Otherwise, you'll just absorb and heal through your body, which we know is a horrible experience, healing our own junk, let alone healing everybody in a room. And it shows up in illness, in your body, everywhere. And a sense of disconnection. So I want to say, if you identify as the empath space, then you do need stronger boundaries. But I don't want you to identify as an empath. I want you to identify as a clairsentient. Because technically, the spiritual journey is about a remembering journey, remembering who you truly are. So you're really a clairsentient that has to remember that they're clairsentient. Because the empath is an unawakened version of the clairsentient, which is the heart, the feeler. They feel, sense, and know things through their heart. And once you awaken that, ding, 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 all these other lights go on. Okay? Yeah. And you have to align your energy centers. Yeah. Listen with your heart, you will understand. I always say that to everybody, but truly listen. What it sounds like, what it feels like, what it says. So that's letting go of what you know and allowing yourself to be given the information that you need. Okay? Let's pull some cards real quick. Oh, it's good, please. Oh, whoa. Yeah. I love that for you. Okay. Yeah. So I've given you the right information, which I like. It's not just about the heart, though. Oh, okay. So just a little bit of life advice. You got the Two of Swords in reverse. Okay, so maybe feeling a little bit trapped, negative in your thought systems. There's a lot of insecurities. Like I said, release the fear. You release the insecurity, the phobia. Okay, and define where that fear actually stems from, and confront that. I know that sounds uncomfortable, and it is, but if you really want to open up the things that you want to open up in the way that you need to, then you need to do the work to get that space to unlock the way it should. So, you know, get right with your mind. I'm going to say that if you've been experiencing a lot of doubts, stress and worries, anxieties, you know, release that, give that back to the earth, ground down. You are sensitive. Sensitives need to create spiritual practices and a routine, a daily routine of spiritual practices that bring them into balance. Okay, so every morning I ground, I meditate, and it's not like for 5 hours. Sometimes it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however I feel. Sometimes it's like a minute. If it's really cold or it's raining, it might only be a minute, but it's a full minute of me being dedicated to that space. I go outside, I take my shoes off, you know, I go out, ground, either sitting near a tree, standing near, you know, sitting on the ground, whatever it is, wherever I can go, and then I just open up to receive. Okay, so what I do is I set good intentions for my day. If I'm going anywhere, I send light there. If I need anything, I ask for it, you know, ask the question, and I allow myself to open fully so that I can receive, because I do spiritual work, so I have to be open. Okay, so you don't have to do that every day, the opening, but the grounding, yes. And then at night I do the same thing. So after this I'll go and have a meal, I'll have something to eat, and then I'll go release. And what I mean by that is that I'll ground down, and I'll allow whatever I've taken on during the night, during the day, and I'll just allow that to leave me, so that I'm not overwhelmed and take that and carry that forward into the next day. So spiritual sensitives or energy sensitives really need to have a proper spiritual practice, and they need to be grounding, and they need to be balancing or meditating their energy on a daily, you know, in a daily practice. Because when you learn how to manage your own energy, it gets easier to understand how to manage other people's energy. And we're all energy, so it's a skill set that you'll actually find very valuable in the rough times, when your skill sets are like, open me now, heal me now, help me now, and you're like, oh, I can't do it. That's because you need to spend time grounding and balancing and setting intentions for yourself, protecting yourself if you need to. But you'll find that you won't need to protect yourself. That's when you become sovereign. You don't need to protect yourself when you're sovereign, because no one and nothing can keep me, no matter what. No matter how much they put their efforts in to hurt me, how much they send energy towards me that's negative, it will just simply go to the ground. It won't touch me at all. And it's a belief system. And that comes through strong spiritual fortitude. Belief systems that matter, that are fundamental, that elevate me out of negative spaces and allow me to be, well, if anything's going to be bad, if I'm going to get afflicted with bad energy, it's going to be my own, okay? So I'm human just like everybody else. Sometimes I have good days, sometimes I have bad days, but most of the time I'll go, that's because I haven't done my practices. And then when you're sensitive, you're sensitive to shifts, people's energy shifts, even their thought shifts. You know, I could be sitting in a room and one of my ears are popping left and right because someone's energy and their frequency is changing, because they're flicking their mind from one thing to another. You know, that's how you get right into the nitty gritty of people's energies. But anyway, long story short, you got the dragon, my friend, which of course is of the spiritual nature, which I know this is what you want. I know this is probably what you want, but you know, like the ability to see. But that comes, you know, like if you really want to see, then you have to let go of the fear, because otherwise you're just going to see bad things. You're going to feel bad things. You're going to not understand the difference between an energy and an entity. Okay? You're just going to assume they're all entities. And that's why we have to learn to be able to use our skill sets with love and without fear, so that we don't pick up our psychological spaces where we think everything is unsafe. because we don't understand it or we don't know what it is. So all that's bad because it feels bad because it's a lot of energy. But in the end, when you actually learn what energy looks like. So I know this is a lot. Stop talking, Sonya. But I'm just going to show you underneath the deck. I got the dolphin. Because look, this is literally you. It's your energy all the time. Like it's a beautiful energy, and I love the dolphin because it's fun loving, it's friendly, it's helpful. But look at that energy, and very intuitive, as we know. So you do have skill sets. You are feeling, sensing, an all feeling, sensing being too. But you might just be awakening to that. So no pressure. It develops the way it needs to develop. And then you got the dragon energy. So you know. Well, alhamdulillah, I feel like the image itself is self-explanatory. So, balancing the ego, it says. Seeing one's most true self. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well, as well as our inner world. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. So learn what witness consciousness is. It is almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. That's what I was telling you, You need to see yourself. You need to talk to yourself. You need to awaken the self. Whew. Sheesh. I don't know where that comes from. It just comes in that way. It's like it even freaks me out sometimes. It is also as if we're traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror, deep into the eyes, you may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. That's what I was talking to you about. That is so freaky. This is the power of the dragon, breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. This is how we'll take our business to the next level. Sorry, it is YouTube Shorts. I can't turn it down. A chance to unlock Sorry, I usually use Spotify, but I wanted a specific frequency. That was a random one. It just came in halfway through the meditation. That's got to be annoying. Sorry. This is the power of the dragon, breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. Let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride and we traverse even the most difficult terrain. You're a dragon rider. The dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their anji is dim. So that's their wide ones, kind of, if you translate it across. Anji, described as inner fire or sacred intelligence, may even just the mention of the dragon stir the embers of intelligence within you. Yeah. Definitely lots of feminine energy in that aspect. So this is a skill set that's definitely been passed down from mother to child, or if not your mother, your grandmother. Feminine. The way that it came forward was like that. Was like the sacral chakra, feminine aspects, the creative aspect. So imagination and intuition come from the same pool. That's why a lot of people that are intuitive sometimes sound crazy, because it's like, whoa, that's like out the gate, but it's because your intuition and your imagination are the same thing. It's just interpreted differently. But the dolphin, like I said, is a beautiful, it would represent a sacral chakra as well, interestingly enough, this giving sensual side. And because the thing for me is that you've got really loving energy, just naturally. Like I said, you've got a frequency, people feel it. But the thing is, it goes both ways. You feel them too. And that dragon, that's interesting, that came in. So I had a visual aspect, or a vision of meeting a dragon in the Akashic records. And that was a really powerful time. So if a dragon meets you in your dreams anytime soon, be prepared for great change and that things are awakening. Okay? I feel like that's pretty much the message that I got for you, Aroha. I hope that helps you. I send this message to you with lots of love and good intentions. I hope it helps you now and in the future. Thank you and take care of yourself, my friends. Woo! It kind of freaked me out when I saw the dragon, because it's like woo, you know. The feeling of it's the energy of the dragon jumping down. It's just like, whoa, okay, I can see the eye to eye space. So yeah, that's freaky. Time to look in the mirror and start really loving yourself and understanding what love really is. Okay. And lucky last, we've got Edna. Edna. Okay. Oh, and then I'll see who was the lucky winner of the night, and then we'll go from there. Alright, Edna, if you'd like to take a deep breath, breathing in slowly and deeply, I'll do the same. Yeah, okay, that was quick. Alright, we'll do the breathing though. So I know your energy's been like a little bit like, I'm going to say high maintenance, girl. What's going on? You've had to really do some soul searching recently. Oh, yeah, sorry, my butt's getting sore. Soul searching. Because I think, like, it just feels like there's a little bit of chaos in there. It's like, bibbidi bobbidi boo, what's that? Is that the Wizard of Oz? It is. That's the Wizard of Oz song. That's the fairy godmother. Isn't it? What was her name? Forgot her name. Sorry. And it's like they're like chucking it. It's like the perfect recipe for what feels like disaster, but it's like, but not disaster. Something better, but it will just literally be shaking. That's how your energy comes in. It's like shaking you to the core. It's like your energy's like really. It's like, slow down, girl. Slow down. So it's like patting you, like, not like patting you like a cat, but you know, like that whole thing you do when you just like want someone to sort of chill out a bit, because yeah, it's literally your energy is shaking me. the feeling of it. And it's not too much, don't worry, it's not too much, it's just the way that it wants to show itself to me. So what is that? It's funny because there's like I just literally saw you go, oh, I've done it again. Like, no, you're okay. But it's kind of like, is that high levels of anxiety? Higher levels of more than normal coming in? Because it just feels like how I feel when my heart's sort of like beating really fast. But the thing is, like, when I tapped into your energy, they sung me the, you know, the Rose is Still a Rose song. Rose is still a rose, baby girl, is still a flower. You know, and I know that you've gone through some hardships in your life. Thank you so much. I know you've gone through some hardships in your life, and I know that you've had to overcome a lot of things, and that you may sometimes need reassurance, and that's okay. It's better to ask than not know, you know what I mean? It just feels like you just need to, yeah, calm down, girl. Calm down, calm down. You know, make me sing the songs, do the dances. It just feels like we need to take that deep breath and really let yourself relax. Or go to sleep to my voice, whatever it is that it does. You know, it's like, it's okay that you're safe. And it's just interesting how they brought it in anyway. It was like bibbidi bobbidi boo. And you know, it's like when they're like chucking little bits. It's like I'm going to bring it up, the imagery, but it's not like that. But it's just the only way I can translate it was that, you know, it's sort of like a cauldron. And there's someone that's just chucked a dash of shiz in there, and a little bit of chaos, and a little bit of love, and it just feels like you're experiencing all these things all at once, and you might be going, what the frick is happening? But it's like, it feels like it may be even just something that you're feeling in the energy, like it's an intense feeling. Thank you so much, this intense feeling. But really, if I'm being honest, it's gonna be like really good. Doesn't feel like it's going to be bad, so it's kind of just like, it's okay, you can calm down. It's not actually going to be bad, because it just feels like if they keep chucking shit in there, you're just going to explode. But maybe you need to explode. Maybe you just need to explode. Maybe it's not an explosion in the aspect, but like something that you can like shift out of. It's kind of like you've been Edina, as everyone's seen Edina, and maybe you're shedding a skin, a layer, and you're becoming Edina. The way it's like two different ways of saying it. Like there's Edina and then there's Edina. And maybe it's just time for you to just accept that good things happen to good people, because you're actually a good person. You're a whole lot of energy, but you're a good person, and it does, you know, I do understand that your kind of energy requires a certain type of person, and that type of person may feel really rare, you know, to move and feel close to. So it's just like, you know, you're never too much, you know. You're the right amount, right? Remember that. You're the right amount. And like, you can't not be you anyway. I feel like no matter how much you may try to be good for others and make it comfortable for others, there's still a part of you that will always, that's why I always kind of like you, you're just you. You're just you. And that always, you know, I don't know what it is, but it kind of felt like you were always told you were too much. Like everything you did was too much. Everything, and it kind of like whenever you feel good about something, even that gets turned against you. So it kind of feels like, you know, you just got to accept that you are a whole lot of energy, and that serves a purpose and a reason why you have a whole lot of energy. So it's time to focus that energy in a way that's productive for you, which is movement forward, right? Not being stuck, elevating. You've been working hard to elevate yourself out of a space, and that's because you know that's the best way to go, and the work is hard to get there, but the rewards are going to far surpass maybe something that you even thought for yourself. And we get really caught up in ideals about how things will turn out, so just be mindful, be flexible with the universe, because sometimes we think something, we think that would be the ultimate, but something better could be waiting for us, and that may be what we're frightened of, is that something better could be out there for me, but I don't necessarily feel like I deserve that. And that's really unfortunate, because you do, always have. And life might not have shown you that, but it's like the universe knows you. Like I say that all the time, the universe knows you. Oh, sorry, I missed a thing. A comment? Okay. Anyway, and so the universe definitely knows you, and you've just got to accept yourself as you are, and let go of the naysayers or the naysaying thoughts or feelings or anxiety or stress that you may go through, even on the inside, because it feels like that's an inside thing, like the whole shaking and thing. That didn't feel like that was you outside shaking. Though sometimes it may show itself as like a tremor, where you're like, you know, like, what was that? So as you know, that's a psychic wall. If you feel those are psychic walls. There's the walls of energy that we're putting out there. So you might feel that with others too. Feeling that. Thank you so much that you may feel that with others, feeling their psychic walls. So don't take that on as your own. So it's an indication that you're moving into a space that this person is uncomfortable with. So your sensitivities are heightened, which is going to make your energy work even faster. And so yeah, calming down, clearing your energy, clearing your space. relaxing, taking that moment, that little bit extra for yourself in the morning or in the evening. Yeah, it just feels like, I don't know, like I just keep wanting to say, you got it, you got it. You've always got it. You've always got it, and that's because the way that your mind thinks is that you always try to prepare for things. And when life throws you a curveball, you start doubting it, but like it's a curveball, it comes out of nowhere. I mean, how are you supposed to always know exactly what to do when there's all these different curveballs? So it's learning to trust in yourself to receive something better. Like, you need to really integrate that into your thoughts, more often, or affirm that more. That's why I'm a good person and I deserve better. And that includes the presence of people in your life. That could be family members or friends, and as well as or lovers, ex-lovers, that they need to understand that's where you are at, and that you shouldn't have to diminish or lower your shine or your personality or your energy or even your enthusiasm because that person can't meet you at your, at your level. And sometimes I think with your type of energy, you would literally go for people that are a lot more calmer and quieter than you, because that's the balance, right? So you're kind of always maybe wanting someone that's more slower, but that's got to be frustrating too. But someone that grounds you down so that you feel not trapped, but protected and safe. And that doesn't always happen. And that's a sad sign for people out there in the world. Not so much for you, but people, they need to get right with themselves. So yes, so they're literally saying, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't worry. Don't stress too much. Everything's going to be okay. Because I'm going to say it, you might have asked for it. And the universe is delivering, and we're going to go back to that, but not in a way that's mocking. Sorry, I laughed at that. But you might have asked for something and the universe is trying to deliver that to you, and just let things happen. Let good things happen in your life. Okay, let's pull some cards. Wait a minute, please. Your crown really activated. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I know. Yep. All right. Let's pull the tarot too. So I've just pulled one card from the animal spirit. Oh, there it is. I see it. Yeah. So what was the other one? Okay. So sorry, I was just looking at the one that was underneath it. I just wanted to have a look. Yeah. Okay. Alright. So, your card. It's funny because it says, oh, look, your crown is really activated. Like, I can feel heaps of energy. Like, I can literally feel the energy in my head going like this. And it's just weird because you got the peacock. But look at the crown. The crown, like, it's, like, really activated. And the cool thing about the peacock is it does... Oh my god, I talked about the peacock another time I did this, and it was something that I learned about the peacock is that when they open and reveal their feathers, yes, it's a mating ritual, but what we don't hear, because as human beings we can't perceive certain frequencies and energies, we can't see them or sense them because we're not tuned into that space yet. But when a peacock reveals its feathers, it's actually vibrating a frequency that only the female peacocks can hear, because peacocks are male. And my ears just popped. So yes, so you've had to be the male in most relationships. You may have male-like energy. I'm saying male, masculine energy, sorry. And you've had to be prepared. See, look at the colour of their eye. You see that? This kind of awareness. And the reason why you're coming forward as a peacock, it's not because you're always out going, look at me, look at me, look at me. But I'm going to say, but your enthusiasm's like that. You know, it's like, you know, but you're not just like, look at me because I need your attention, but look at me because I've got a great idea. Look at me because I'd like to connect. It's a needful connection. And the thing is, you've had to be very masculine in your approach to life at this time with the peacock energy, because you've had to prepare for things, you know, like, you know, I understand that part when it comes to your, you know, home life. And the thing is, you know, you're not trying to attract females. And it's hard, because I know for you to sort of, I'm going to say this, for you to be recognized by males in a way that is attractive, let's just put it like that, then you have to sort of soften yourself. But the downside to that is that that's not really all of who you are, because you're big personality, big energy. And so peacock is like, see, I'm a bird, but look, I can get bigger. Look at me, you know. But it's in a way that's sort of just like that enthusiasm and that love doesn't just extend to yourself. It extends to the people that you love, and you love hard and all and everything. And that's why it's sort of like, maybe, you know, you'd like to have a relationship where you can be the peacock and that person's not frightened, because underneath the deck you've got this energy. You know, it's the cheetah. So I know that we straight away were thinking, oh, cheetah, oh, that's not good. But it's about fast movement, about inspired action, and the ability to cross the finish line. So it's kind of like a very, what I call my hard and fast energy sort of coming in. And the cool thing about the cheetah energy is that it's, you know, it can keep pace. And that's what you kind of need, is someone else that has similar energy, so that not because of the bibbidi bobbidi boo, that's what they're saying, that it just feels like it's the right kind of match. But the cheetah, like I said, they're fast moving, so that could be someone that once they don't tell them, smell your scent, they can find you, not in a bad way, okay? I feel like that's coming across wrong, but they sense you. It's a sensation, and that creates that connection where the cheetah comes in the way that you need. Because the thing, when the peacock spreads its feathers, it wants somebody to come in and take notice. You know, like I said, it's not an attention seeking, it's a connection seeking. Like, in the way that it needs to, this person needs to understand how your energy works, which is fast. See how the thing is like the whole, like the movement, see? But over here with the peacock, see how the energy's flat across like that? Just so you know, you can see that the energy's straight across. It's kind of like you can only reveal so much of yourself, and you have to kind of quieten things down. But with the cheetah space, and you can see the energy, it's like this person is alive. It's kind of open, and then it's like almost a platform for you to really shimmy and shake. Is that weird? Is that weird to say? Your goodness. And with Six of Cups, you know, the Six of Cups is about thinking about the past, rose-colored glasses, you know, feeling quite sentimental and nostalgic. And maybe you're thinking about an old, you know, lover or soulmate, or just wanting to bring in some type of soul energy. Sixes are about the heart, so you've got the Six of Cups, which is the Six of Hearts, basically. Sorry. And it kind of feels like, you know, yeah, I just want to say this. Please don't look at the ruins of the past and expect that to replay in your life now, because you're not Edina, you're Edina. Stream of two different versions. And we talked about the last session, the last live was the different versions that I had to sort of say goodbye to. So maybe it's time for you to say goodbye to the past and let the ruins of the past, you know, leave them behind and move forward to something a bit more your pace, my friend. More at your pace. Faster moving energy. Faster communication. Someone that doesn't dawdle or it's like can keep up with you mentally and maybe energetically. Because they would have to be able to handle a lot of energy. That's pretty much where it's at. For you to be yourself, they have to handle your energy and accept it the way that it is. So one day someone will know how to hold your love, my friend. That's that post that I put up. I might put it into my story for you to just listen to. You know, it's like knowing it's there if you need it, when it's ready, when you're ready. But yeah, the Six of Cups, definitely soul connection coming in and just feeling a little bit nostalgic at the same time. But remember, your past doesn't define your future, okay? So I hope that message makes sense to you. I send that message to you with lots of love and good intentions. I hope it helps you now and in the future. Thank you and take care of yourself. I know I didn't read the peacock because I just wanted to show you the image, and that allows you to define that for yourself without having set words telling you what something is when it could be completely different or won't help you, okay? But it's a good card. It's a good card to have. So thank you, Irina. I always like your energy. It always gives me something, you know, like it always gives me like a weird buzz. But I appreciate it. Alright guys, so I'm going to see who actually was the highest gifter, and that is Trisha GG. She's pretty sure she's, I don't know how to bloody read this thing. Oh yeah, it is Trisha. Thank you, Trisha. So even though you got a reading with me tonight, what I'll do is, and congratulations to you, I will message you. So just make sure it's me that comes into your DMs. And I will approach you about getting a reading and finding out what you want to find out about. And then bring that forward for you. And that'll be sent to you via a private link. So it might take a couple of days to get the reading. And I'll do that over the weekend or Friday, Saturday, okay? So expect to get a message from me tomorrow. So it's 10:30 a.m. So probably between 9 and 10, 10:30 p.m. Probably between 9 and 10 a.m. tomorrow. Once I like do the kid thing and then get myself organized and be able to sit down in front of my phone and connect with you. So thank you very much for your generosity. I appreciate that a lot. And I'm back on Tuesday, 6:30 starting. So please, if you want to read and get in early, find a video. If you want to ask a question, like just a random video, it doesn't have to be about what you're asking about. But if you want to know about something spiritual, if you want to ask a spiritual question, or for me to pull a card, that's the only way you're going to get it outside of the live, unless you book a personal reading with me. If you want to, all the links are in my profile. To book an appointment, and I think that's it. But congratulations to Trisha, and thank you to my lovely mods and the lovely people that have stayed in this live this whole time. Thank you for listening to me for so long, but I appreciate you all. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, gifting, subscribing. If we did get subscribers, I'm not too sure. I don't always look at the comments, but I appreciate it all. And I will see yous next Tuesday. I'll be posting videos though, randomly over the weekend or night. So yeah, thank you everybody. Take care. Yeah, you never fell asleep. Yes, I'd like to have a party with you, Edina. Tyrell, will he unblock me? Probably not. He might have actually really peed him off, but make things right. Maybe that will help you, okay? Alright, thank you guys. Thank you, Jax. You take care. Have a good rest of your week. And Tuhoi Nation, I'll be in next Tuesday. If you come in early, if possible, I'll be able to give you a reading. Because I saw you there right at the end. I'm so sorry. I can't go in any longer. I'm getting tired. So, ka kite, ano, see you again. Oh, Marie.